Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakabadash.
Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation and much love to you all come out there pushing out his word in truth and sincerity. And we brothers from Great Millstone, Tampa, and we're back for another weekly camp video. And a lot of things going on around the earth right now. You know, the prophecies that we've been speaking about, beginning with the elder apostles on down. You know, they're here, they're speaking loud and clear, and there's nothing you can really say that can gainsay against this truth right now. All right, but today we're gonna really hit on the return of the Lord. All right, and how that's gonna go down. All right, because the Lord is coming back, contrary to popular belief, to bring war. All right, so we're gonna start in 2nd Ezra chapter 13. Brother want to read that, and then we'll read probably down to the 12th verse.
Sorry, verse 1?
Yeah, we'll read down to the 12th verse, and then precepts are going to come along the way. So go ahead.
Yeah, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the ways thereof. And lo, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
So it says that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, showing you that the Lord, all right, Yahushua, the Messiah, is coming back with thousands. All right, he's coming back with his angels, the clouds. All right, they're all going to come back in their chariots, okay, the army. And then it said, and when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. If brother want to grab at Luke 21, where it said men's hearts fell in them, okay, because people are going to be, all the things trembled that were seen under him. So even animals, all right, are going to be in fear when the Lord returns. All right, because as pursuing the Revelation 1, it says that every eye shall see him.
I got you.
You got it?
Yeah. This is what is it? Revelation
1 and 7.
Yep. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. It says, "Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. They also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen."
Every kindred of the earth shall wail because of him. So going back to 2nd Ezra 13 and 3, it said all things trembled that were seen under him. So people are going to be in complete fear. All right, they're not going to know what to do. Some people are just going to drop dead because of the fearful sight of the Lord returning, man. Because not everybody's expecting the Lord or the Messiah, all right, the Savior of Israel, to return on a so-called spaceship, all right, and then come with a fleet of angels, which are going to be in spaceships as well. All right, know what? The majority of the earth, all right, the masses are not expecting that return, that kind of return. They think that the Lord, I don't know what they think, really. I don't know what they believe how the Lord is going to return, but it ain't what the scriptures say. Okay, so the point is the people are going to be wailing, all right? Somebody got that Luke?
Right.
Go ahead.
Book of Luke, St. Luke, chapter 21, verse 26. And this is Yahushua's words. Men's hearts failing them for fear.
Failing them for fear. That's called a heart attack, man. A stroke. All right? Their hearts are just going to stop because of the fear. Of what? Of the Lord's return, man. Because, people right now, they see one chariot in the sky. They'll start recording it. Oh my God, somebody call the police. What are we going to do? Imagine the sky filled with chariots, man. And then at that time, when the chariots come, it's in the midst of World War III. The nukes is on the way. So it's going to be a horrible scenario. Okay? The worst case ever, Because Jacob's trouble is going to be a time like no other. All right? And the finale is going to be like no other, man. The finale is the finale. You say the best for last. All right? The best part of the movie is how it ends, the finale. If it's a good movie anyway, Yeah, that was a good movie, man. It did see that climax. I didn't see that coming, man. Yeah. And the climax is going to be when Yahushua returns. All right? The real climax. Because yeah, people are gonna be fighting each other, which is gonna get into it. But what, they're gonna try to fight the Lord when he returns, man. And he's coming to subdue them. He's coming to take the crowns from all the kings of the earth. Go ahead.
And right now we're getting into the final chase scene in the movie. You know, the build-up.
Yeah.
So back in Luke 21, and I'm gonna read 25 and read down to 26. So Yahushua says, "And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring." Then it says, "Men's hearts failing them for fear, and looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken."
Mm-hmm. The powers of heaven shall be shaken, man. So the least of this world, all right, they're gonna be shook. So how much more the low level, the cryptics out here, man? They don't know what the hell is going on. At least they know. They know somewhat. You know, they know about the scriptures. They know that Yahushua is gonna come. They know who the Israelites are. But your average person, man, they're gonna be dying from fear, man, because they have no idea what the hell is going on. Don't know why it's happening and what's to come afterwards. Yeah, more on that?
Yeah, a little bit. Verse 27, still Yahushua speaking. "And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory."
Yeah, so they're gonna see the Lord coming with power and great glory, man. Showing you that he's coming with his host. I believe it's the word power or glory is one of those. It says the definition is host, man. So he's coming with his host. Like the brother read in 2 Ezra 13, it says, "Lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven." That thousands of heavens is his host, man.
I got that right now. If you want that.
17.
Psalm 68:17, it says, "The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of his angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place."
That's right. So the chariots of the Lord, all right, the host is one of his armies, so to say, is gonna be the thousands and thousands, man. All right, like I said, you read it, the power and the glory, man. All right, go ahead.
Verse 28, last verse here. "And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh."
Yeah, because the Lord, the way he's gonna bring cruelty into this world via his chariots is the same way he's gonna bring salvation unto his elect, his chosen. Okay, so that's why the scripture said, "Look up, because our redemption draweth nigh." The same way Yahushua left in the book of Acts is the same way we're gonna leave. That's our redemption, our salvation. Keep going on that.
2 Ezra chapter 13, verse skip the blue page. Chapter 13, verse 4. "And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire." All right, and that's going into them laser beams that's going to be shot out of them chariots, man. Okay, people going to be getting burnt up like in the movie
The War of Worlds.
yeah, War of Worlds. Okay, with Tom Cruise. All right, you seen them tripod-looking things come up out of the earth, and they started zapping people into dust. Okay, and it said, verse 5. "And after this I beheld, and lo,
Yeah, go ahead. Stop.
and after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea."
So, like we were saying, that in the midst of World War III, that's when the Lord's going to return. Everybody's going to be fighting each other. And then what? They're going to come together. They're going to stop. They're going to drop everything just to fight against the Lord. If a brother want to grab Revelation 19:19 real quick.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 19.
And they said a multitude of men have a number. So that goes to show you that all the nations are going to come against the Lord, man. Go ahead.
It says, "And I saw the beast
The beast, which is Esau, Edom. Go ahead.
and the kings of the earth,
And the kings of the earth, meaning Moab, Ammon, Ishmael, all the other nations. Go ahead.
and their armies,
And their armies.
gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and
Yeah.
against his army."
Yeah, so him that sat against the horse, we read up in that chapter, is talking about Yahushua. Okay? They're gonna try to fight him, man. And that's why, going back to 2nd Ezra 13th chapter, it said that to subdue the man that came out of the sea, which is Yahushua. All right? And it'll give you the understanding later on about the sea. Why I said that he came out of the sea. Okay? Read that first, the 5th chapter, or the fifth verse again.
Okay. 2nd Ezra 13, verse 5. And after this, I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
And this is well, go ahead and read that. This is World War III is gonna be happening amongst the nations, but then the war to come after that. As a matter of fact, real quick at Exodus 15:3, right? Because like you said at the beginning, the Lord's coming to bring war. Okay, you got something?
Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace but a sword.
That's right. So the Lord's not coming to bring peace. Right? Ultimately, it will lead to peace, but the Lord is not coming with peace. Right? You know how they say, I come in peace. You know, you go into uncharted territory or unknown territory. They wave the white flag saying, "Come in peace." But the Lord's not coming in peace. He ain't waving no flags. He's coming with a sword. Okay? Going to show you what do you use the sword for? In a time of war, right? And to kill people.
I got you. This is the book of Exodus chapter 15 verse 3. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name.
That's right. So the Lord, the Heavenly Father, is a man of war, and so is his first begotten Son, his only begotten Son. Okay. Yahushua, what's the word? He inherited the traits of the Heavenly Father. One of those traits being a man of war. Okay, that's why he's not coming back to bring peace, as the brother read. He's coming to bring a sword. Plain and simple. Go ahead. Read that.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. And there was war in heaven.
There was war in heaven. Not talking about in the spiritual realm. All right, this is talking about out here in the atmosphere, so to say. All right, or the skies, so you can understand it.
Because heaven could be either it could mean a high place. You know, it could mean
well, you got four heavens. You got the heaven, the skies. You got the firmament, which is space. Then you got the heaven, which is where the Most High dwells, and then you got the rulership, heaven. All right, but this heaven is talking about in the skies.
Where the birds are.
Exactly.
There's a reason why they have a space force, man. Because Edom knows exactly what's about to go down. Go ahead.
And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
The dragon being Esau, Edom, which is going to be, like we read in the 19th chapter, that the dragon and the kings and their armies. So the dragon's going to be leading the charge because Esau, Edom is the one that with the possession of the earth in his hand. And if Esau stops fighting everybody when the Lord returns, everybody else is going to follow Esau. All right? Go ahead.
And the dragon fought against his angels and prevailed not.
And they prevailed not. I mean, it's going to be a landslide victory. You're not going, your F-35s, your what do they call them, the F-2 bomber, whatever, the stealth bombers, all that shit is going to be brought to naught, man. We're talking about interdimensional vehicles, you know, multi-dimensional vehicles. They can be here 1 second, and before you can even blink an eye, they're gone. So in the same instant, while you're like, if you use the slow motion, you blinking, before you even close your eyes, it disappeared. And then they can reappear before you even open your eyes. That's the kind of vehicles the Lord's coming with, man. And He don't even need that. Really, He just Jake like to do things in style. Okay, yeah. So them chariots is gonna come to show the power of the Lord. All right, and again, they're instruments, they're vehicles. So just because you can fly, don't mean you can't. You want to stunt in the chariot, which completely goes above and beyond what Esau claims to be the laws of physics, right? These things will go 1,000 miles an hour and turn on a dime. You do that with a jet, the pilot's gonna pass out or his head's gonna explode.
Yeah, G-force.
Yeah, exactly. The most G-force, most people, well, not most people, the most G-forces that even the stunt pilots do is about 10 Gs, 11 Gs, and even then they'll be hesitant to do it.
Passing out.
It's high
Yeah,
level.
but the average person, they'll be lucky if they felt 1 or 2 G's. I'm not talking about networks either. I'm talking about G forces, all right? When you
Stop it on.
I'm talking about when you stuck to the side of the wall because you turned it so damn hard.
Yeah.
You know,
Like that gravitron, when you in the fair, you on that gravitron, you stuck
that's
in the wall.
nothing. You know,
Yeah,
that's nothing compared to what these
That's
chariots
safe
can do.
levels.
Yeah,
That's safe levels.
exactly.
Yeah,
They're
it's
not gonna
human.
put you at a 10G roller coaster and have everybody die from that bitch.
Turn into a milkshake.
But that's what they do. They train these pilots so when they're doing maneuvers, you know, their body's able to handle it. Same thing with the Esau and Moab, whatever. They go through extensive training before they get on that rocket ship to go into the space station. Because what them G forces when they're getting pushed up, that shit is incredible. You know, so
Like 8 or 9 Gs.
yeah, so they have to
straight back.
they have to train their body over months and months, if not years. You know, to be able to, you know, because Esau's wiser than Daniel. He has actual places he can simulate certain things. So that's how they prepare for it. But finish that
Hey,
up.
real quick, one thing I was going to use, talking about, you know, how the Most High finna come and just decimate their armies, even with all their technology, and the Most High like to flex sometimes. This is why you seeing this advance in like weaponry and stuff like that. Like Esau got these new laser weapons, they got AI planes, they got darker robots, all these different things, because they really going up against, like the brother was saying, interdimensional stuff like that. So it's, what kind of war would it be? Esau got to go out there with his real scopes and snipe somebody out or whatever, whatnot. Nah, most time let them turn up with, hey, AI planes, robots or whatever, whatnot, all these little drones and everything like that. But it's still gonna be child's play, man. But this is the last time that you know, the Most High finna go forth or send forth this type of judgment, man, because we're not gonna learn war no more. So hey, it's the climax of it all. So go ahead and put all your stuff as on far max as you can, the spiritual power on the left hand side, but it's still no real. You know, you don't really have it's not real.
No
like,
chance,
yes,
bro.
yes, stealth fighters, or you can't see it with your radar or whatever, whatnot, you know, but that's just on a low level, man.
Because ultimately, Esau's greatest weapon is what's going to be destroying him. It's weapons of mass destruction, as he calls it. All right, because you know, like brothers mentioned, all those weapons can't take out the whole state of Florida with one snap of a finger. But a warhead can. A nuclear warhead can, but what? They're not going to use that on the Lord. I mean, they might. Who knows? They might try to shoot one.
They gonna try.
But for the most part, those are going to be flying through the air when the Lord returns.
They're gonna
man.
try, bro.
Those missiles are going to hit their target. So who knows? Maybe they won't shoot at the Lord
Yeah,
with those
perhaps.
missiles,
Yeah.
because they have coordinates that the Lord is going to put on them. You know, he gonna put his spirit on there. So whether they're gonna be shot in the air, of course, but once they shoot them, all of them are going off, man. What, they gonna be waiting? Which see, they know he's coming, but even if they do shoot nukes, the Lord could just reroute them motherfuckers anyway,
Well, we seen that.
or deactivate them.
And
Yeah.
there was a video of that where they launched off the nuke and the chariot came out of nowhere. It's just taking off, and it's on,
Deactivated
It
it in
took
the
off.
middle there.
and just kept moving.
Back in
Finish this and then you got it.
back in Revelation chapter 12, verse 7 again, and I'm gonna read on down. I didn't really finish it. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
That's right. So there's not gonna be a place for Esau Edom anymore, because all he does is deceive the whole world. You know, now it's time for him to just be a grunt, you know, a slave. Nobody cares what he has to say or what he thinks. He's just gonna be out there in the fields. Go ahead.
And he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
So his army is gonna be cast out with him. All right. So from the low level, what they call them, E1s or privates, they're gonna go down right along with the top elite. All right, or the general, the 4-star generals, or the 5-star general. They all going down together. All right, this whole world is going down together. You either with us or you against us. And if you're against us, you're gonna go down in shambles, man. You're gonna die, or you might be one of the first slaves to the kingdom of heaven.
Perhaps.
You have something to say,
Yes.
Go ahead.
Psalms 2 and 4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. You know, and that's why the brother brought out Exodus 15. The Most High is a man of war. You know, so this is getting ready to humble Esau. You know, the Most High is making this whole thing up to humble the so-called white man Esau Edom, man. You know, it says, "He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. the Lord shall have him in derision. Then shall he speak unto him in his wrath, and vex him in the sword of pleasure. So, like the brother's going into, all right, the Most High, Yahweh Shai, is going to speak to him with destruction, man. All right, the angels coming back, and the missiles getting shot off. You know, ultimately, this is getting made up, the humble, the so-called white man. That's why Isaiah, the 2nd chapter says, the lofty looks of men shall be humble, man. All right, they shall go into the clefts of the rocks for the fear of the Lord and his majesty, man. The Heavenly Father getting ready to laugh, man, at the so-called white man, you see? Because he's going up against he's going up against spiritual power, man, you know?
Well, he's going up against the chariots, man.
Okay.
You know, which is the Lord's and his angels are there, of course. But yeah, there's really no explanation to a chariot. You know, we can't tell you exactly what they're made of, how they work. You know, we can't, because we haven't. That's far beyond what we can actually perceive right now, man. Well, all we can do is observe them. You know, and guess what? The Lord is gonna come on one. That is gonna be humongous, okay? You know, they got that scene in Independence Day, the movie Independence Day, when the chariots coming from the clouds, you know. And what they came to do, man, came to fuck shit up. That's what the Lord's coming to do. You got something?
Yeah. You had mentioned a couple things.
Well, keep because we're gonna go back to that 2nd Ezra 13.
It's all the same situation. Isaiah 42:13. It says, "The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. Says, I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman and will destroy and devour at once." Going back to that, you know, the Lord is a man of war, man. He's coming back to, you know, with these chariots in the middle of the war, man. And this is how, you know, basically a lot of pretty much all these soldiers, they're gonna, you know, pretty much die off in the Middle East. None of them is gonna come back, man. They're all gonna die over there, man.
Yeah, but their best bet is just to die in the war. Because if they have to die in the hands of the Lord, it's gonna be horrible. That get zapped. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, their best bet is just to die the first go around. You know,
it'd be better that way.
Yeah.
Real quick, I wanted to back that up in 2nd Ezra 16 about them going to war with the Lord and dying off over there. This is 2nd Ezra 16, and I'm going to start at verse 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. And the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish from famine.
Like Paul Tahar recently said in one of his recent videos, yeah, if you go over there to the Middle East, you ain't coming back.
Exactly.
All right, you're not coming back, man. If you get shipped out there, or if you've already stationed out there, you know, that's your burial ground out there, man. You're gonna die out there.
Yeah.
You're not coming back, man. You ain't gonna get a 2-week leave. Nah, man, you're gonna die out there, man. Either at the hands of another man, a drone, whatever, or at the hands of the Lord when He returns. All right. Let's get back into that now. So you got something? You guys? Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. 2nd Ezra chapter.
Now we're gonna get the description of how the Lord's about to return, man. A play-by-play, so to say. Go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not.
Yeah, so Ezra was trying to see where this mountain came from, you know. Man, let me look for the chunk of land that's missing. That's how big the chariot was. Like, if you see a mountain, if you're very far from that mountain, all right, like say Mount Everest. If you're very far from it, you're gonna be able to see the whole mountain. I'm talking about countries away. You'll be able to see it. Mm-hmm. If you're right up on there, you can't see where it starts. You can't see, you know, if you're, let's say you're 100 miles away from it, you probably can't even see where it ends, man. That's how, and the Lord's coming. That's the only thing Ezra could actually, you know, make a resemblance of it. You know, he was like, damn, it looked like a mountain. That's how big the chariot was, man. It was as big as a mountain, if not bigger. You know, he just using that to the closest thing he knew at that time. You know.
Biggest thing you got, yeah.
You got something? No. Okay, go ahead, keep reading.
Okay. Verse 7. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet there's fight.
And we read who those people were. All right, the dragon and the kings and their armies. All right, Satan and his angels, the devil and his angels. These are the men. And guess what? Jake's a part of that. Okay, believe it or not, they're part of the dragon's army or Satan's army, Satan's angels. Because what? You got Jake's in the military. You got Jake's flying planes, flying jets. All right, shooting cannons. They're part of that too. And guess what? They're gonna be shitting their pants like we read earlier. Men's hearts fell in for fear. And then earlier in this chapter it said, all the things trembled that were seen under him. So they're gonna be scared as hell. But what? And yet there's fight because the Lord's gonna put the spirit on them to fight against him. All right. That's why you had what's his name? President. Well, no, the one that said about Reagan. He said if a foreign entity or whatever he said something about an alien invader or whatever came in, wouldn't we all come together, you know, to fight against them? Well, yes, that's biblical. Yeah. They will, but they're gonna be scared as hell. All right, no, cause think about it, man. These guys that they're shooting jets, they do flybys on a little village and shoot machine gun the village. They're gonna be horrified when they have to fight a chariot, man. That's disappearing. It's eating bullets. They might have force fields. Who knows? Maneuver in all kind of ways. You can't even understand what's going on.
Hey, well, we seen that one video in Iran, right? I think it was Iran. Just imagine that. This is going back and forth, bathing through the bullets, and they just hitting it with everything that they got. It's like, yo, you ain't hit it once. Yeah. Or in the movie Independence Day, they try to shoot that nuke at it. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, they most deadliest weapon, they one shot, one killed weapon is just hit with a force field or something like that.
Target remains.
Yeah, it's still there. It's like, well, that was the hardest thing that we had. Once they do that and they realize, that the nukes is, their whole military is obsolete, man. Once they realize these things, that's when they're gonna start shitting bricks, because right now they have the faith in their weapons and their technology. Oh no, we got stealth bombers. They can't see us on radar. Oh, we got this missile. We got cruise missiles. We got laser weapons. All this technology is far superior to these other nations, and they can see the devastation it does to the other people. But when it is something that's far more superior to them that pops up, like interdimensional being, something that just appears out of nowhere, man. That disables their whole communication grid, their whole systems. Just systems down. They fly in their F-35s and all of a sudden they just start falling out the sky for no reason.
They don't remember who gave it to them, who gave them that power.
Exactly. They gonna start shitting bricks at that moment, man. They gonna load up the nukes. All of a sudden they gunships, everything just powered down, man. That's when they really gonna start shitting bricks, man. They realize like, oh shit, man.
Out of your league.
And that's why it says in Job, his confidence shall be rooted at his tabernacle. Mm-hmm. All his blessings, the things he put his trust in, he's gonna fall by. And that's mockery from the Lord. That's why Brother Bible Psalm 2nd chapter, the Lord's gonna laugh.
Yeah, man.
You had something?
I would like to read a little bit more, then I'll bring this up.
Good. I thought you said you had something.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So verse 9, it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war.
Okay, so the Lord looking at these people who are all their bodies shooting missiles at them. Gatling gun, Rambo shit. You're like, what the fuck? He didn't even have to lift a finger, man. Go ahead.
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
There's some laser beams, man. High intensity, concentrated light. All right, this is nothing new. This happened to King David. All right, with Psalms. I think it's 18 in the book of Samuel, 2 Samuel as well, which it's the same account, but so this is he called it lightning. That's what it is, because what lightning is concentrated light.
Yep.
Get struck by lightning. Let me know how that goes. Directly.
Not good.
So imagine these laser beams. There's what's it? Star Wars movies. Choo choo. Where you think they got that? They might use lightsabers, and they got guns that shoot laser beams, man. They got that from the scriptures, man. Because that's how the Lord's come back. Even the brother mentioned the movie World of the Wars, whatever. That's what was zapping people. All right, go ahead.
Verse 11, And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude.
So it fell with violence against the multitude, man. So all the niggas was getting zapped.
What you get in Revelation?
Yeah, you know.
That's what I was about to go through. Go ahead.
Revelation 18, verse 21. Matter of fact, I read 20. It says, "Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all."
So thus with violence, man. That's how this place is going to be destroyed. And Yahushua himself said that I come not to bring peace, but a sword. You know, an instrument of death, which the death that he's going to bring is the death that he's going to bring with the chariots and the missiles, man. To end this place. Okay, to bring down Esau's kingdom. All right? And it's going to be with violence, man. Not with flowers given, man. Or hugs and kisses like brother was going into when we first started. You know, you got Christians who they think that the coming of the Lord is going to be great joy. It is going to be great joy, but for the men of the Lord, to rescue people, it's going to be misery, man. It's going to be violence. It's going to be death.
Amos 5 says, "Woe to you that desire the day of the Lord."
You get that?
Okay.
Get that. Have you got it?
Come on, I'll get it real quick.
Yeah. Amos here, 5:18. Yeah, because brother.
We'll probably just go down
Amos.
to 12.
5 and
We could go through damn near half the chapter.
Yeah, because they got that the Roman against Roman.
Yeah,
all that. That's a good
yeah.
chapter.
I
Yeah.
just got a few here.
Go ahead, bro.
kind of Amos 5 and 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? And the day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Yeah, what you all happy about, man? You were talking about, yeah, Jesus coming back. Jesus gonna come back and whip your ass.
That's right.
And along with these nations and their armies, Jesus gonna kick your ass. What you worried about? You worried about him coming back? You all happy? Oh yeah, Jesus coming. Jesus ain't coming back like the brother read in Matthew chapter 10. He's coming back with a sword. He's coming back with vengeance. This is not like anything to really, unless you really doing the work of the Lord, you doing the work of the evangelist, you prophesying, you making your call and election sure as the scriptures, say to do. You shouldn't have anything to be looking forward to. All right, that goes for all these churches and all these people, these Jesus, people out here, man. The Lord is coming back with vengeance, and then this place is going to be brought down by violence.
Because when he returns here, this is the man that created everything you see, okay? But the nations are gonna try to subdue him. Fuck out of here, man. He gonna subdue you. That's why I say that he's coming to take the crowns of the kings of the earth, man.
Subdue you. Isaiah 63 and 4. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart. And the year of my redeem is come. And I looked, and there was none to help. And I wondered that there was none to uphold.
Oh, he's reading that.
Yeah, exactly.
Therefore, my own arm brought salvation unto me. In my fury, it uphold me.
Hey, read the top. We start from the top of that verse.
Isaiah.
Of that chapter.
Verse 1?
Yeah.
Okay, Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Bosra?
Yeah, man. We're talking about the Lord. All right. And the brother's reading in 2nd Ezra 13 chapter that the Lord is coming back and on that big ass chariot. Those things a mountain. Go ahead, keep reading.
Hey, real quick, in the 1611, for those that don't believe that Yahushua was written about in the Old Testament, in the 1611, the little, like a
side note.
Yeah. At the top it says, Christ showeth who he is.
Ooh.
So that's a cut. It says Mashiach showeth who he is.
Wow.
What his victory over his enemies.
And the scriptures also say in the Old Testament, I forget exactly what book, but it says, I shall not meet thee as a man. When Yahushua came in the flesh, he came with peace. He came peaceably.
That's a lamb.
Yeah, and the people spit on him, they slapped him, and they crucified him. So now guess what? Now he ain't gonna come like that. Now he's gonna come. He's gonna come in his angelic force and body, and he's gonna bring a sword. He ain't gonna come with peace because he already did that, and you didn't accept him.
He came as a lamb. Now he's coming as that roaring lion of Judah, man. The lion ain't coming to fucking play tic-tac-toe with you, man.
We're gonna get the jump on the Lord this time, man. Keep reading that.
Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom?
Edom, you know, the so-called white man, the Edomites. All right, go ahead.
With dyed garments from Basra.
Died with what? Go ahead.
This that is glorious in his apparel, travailing in the greatness of his strength.
Traveling.
Traveling in the greatness of his strength.
And that's that holy host. That's that holy host, all right? And that's that big mountain, that big chariot that the brothers read about in the book of 2nd Ezra. That's a scary sight. This is going to happen. Yeah, I mean, we read about it, but you got to really understand that this is going to happen on the earth in your lifetime. You're going to see this if the Lord preserves you for that time.
That's right.
You know, it's either going to, you're either going to ship bricks when you see it, or you're going to be joyous when you see it. The Lord traveling in the greatness of his strength for his holy host. We read in the book of Psalms chapter 68. His Lord's coming with 20,000 chariots, and that's just an arbitrary number. It could be a lot bigger than that.
Because when it said back in 2nd Ezra 13, when it said thousands, the footnote or whatever, it says cloud.
Yeah, clouds.
He's coming with the clouds of heaven. Then it's not an exact number. You know?
Clouds cover the sky. Okay, so and as the book of Revelation chapter 1 says, every eye shall see him. Keep reading that though.
It says, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine
That
fat.
goes back to him, his dyed garments in Basel. His dyed garments. That dyed garments is going in on blood. Okay? The Lord's coming with a sword, and he's going to do a lot of destruction. And that's just a indication of how much death is going to come upon the earth when the Lord makes his return. Dyed garments. Say you have a green garment, and it looks like it's dyed red, like he was treading in the wine fat. That means that it's covered in blood. That's how much blood. And what the scripture specifically says, he's coming from Edom. That's the crazy part about it. That he's coming for a so-called white people. He's coming out of Basra. Like, you can't break this down any different than that. The Lord's coming to bring judgment upon the nation of Edom specifically. And of course, the rest of go ahead.
The beast, bring down the beast system.
And the scriptures say Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? Now Yahushua is going to be, you know, basically at the top of the Israelites, more or less to say. So if he's coming back to take his kingdom, what kingdom he has to take out of place?
Esau.
If Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
You see that? So
It said, well, Basra is America, because where's the great judgment going to be? Which ultimately the judgment is coming from the Lord. All right, the great judgment is here in America. All right, so but Edom, you know, well, really the spiritual Edom is here in America, but Edom as a people, as like brother said, the beast, he's taking them down. But the great judgment is going to be here in America. All right, ain't going to be no devastation anywhere else on the planet like it will be here in America. I'm talking about coast, every square inch is going to be destroyed here in America.
True.
You was done on that?
A little bit more on it. Verse 3. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I tread them in my anger, and trampled them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain on my raiment.
And that's symbolic. Yeah. Because when we read in 2nd Ezra, he didn't even have to lift a finger. That's right. So how you going to get blood on him? Right. You got to get up off his seat.
Symbolic, yeah.
You know, it's symbolic. It's showing you the great death he's going to bring, man. The great mass murder. If people like to talk about mass murders, the Lord is going to come and commit the greatest mass murder of all time, man. The scripture tell you that the Lord killeth and maketh alive.
Yeah.
You know, so ultimately all them head counts go unto the Heavenly Father Yahweh.
Facts.
I got a quick one.
Yeah, he got something. You got something?
Oh yeah, I got something real quick. Book of Isaiah chapter 34.
Slide. Yeah, that was it up?
Yeah, that was it.
Isaiah 34, and I'll start at 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. You know, we're going into the nuclear missiles. We're reading on. My sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. All right, and the people of his curse. Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom. So it's talking about the Edomites, the so-called white people that dwell upon the earth, ruling the world. Verse 6.
Mainly it's talking about America, because Idumea, the new Idumea is America. All right, because everywhere Esau is at, ain't gonna receive a missile. They could be in this place that goes scot-free. But it's specifically talking about America, all right? Because Idumea, the modern day Idumea, Basra, all right, the land of Chaldeans is in America. However, who runs America? Esau, Edom. And whose kingdom's going to be taken down? Esau, Edom. Because the nukes is the end of Esau's kingdom. You know, this is ultimately going to destroy his kingdom, okay, when the Lord returns and the nukes is flying. Because when the nukes are flying, the chariots are going to be here.
Yep.
Zapping right along with them chariots, man. Go ahead.
Verse 6. The sword of the Lord Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness.
The sword, meaning the ways of death, so to say. All right? Because it ain't just going to be the nukes that kill people. It's going to be famine. That's the sword. That's the sword of the Lord. Pestilence. That's the sword of the Lord. Get run over by a tank. That was the sword of the Lord. Go ahead.
And with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams, for the Lord Yahweh hath a sacrifice in Basra.
Exactly. So this is the place of the great sacrifice is going to be here in America. Because what did you do with those sacrifices? What would you do with it? You would burn them.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's going to be full of the goats, the kidneys, the lambs, all that.
Great altar.
Exactly. This is the great altar.
Forever.
Mm-hmm. And then you know, especially the fat, you know. Go ahead.
A lot of fat.
Yeah. Got a good that shit. And when you throw, like, remember when you throw
Yeah.
fat into the fire, man, it makes it grow. It's a catalyst. Go ahead.
For the Lord Yahweh hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter
Yeah,
in
they
the
ain't talking
land
about
of...
the ancient Basra. There ain't gonna be a great slaughter in Basra of old, you know, out there in the Middle East. Which there will be great slaughter out there, but in modern day Basra is America, man. Because Basra was the chief city of Edom. America is the chief city of Edom. Go ahead.
And the great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Mm-hmm. A great slaughter in the land of Idumea. All right, it ain't gonna be out there in what is it? I think it's Saudi Arabia, ancient Edom, like the very top of Saudi Arabia, maybe that area. All right, so it ain't gonna be out there, man. The Mount Seir, where Mount Seir was. So it's gonna be here. The great slaughter, the great destruction is gonna be in America. That was it. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
This is because you was talking about, you know, the Lord basically racking up a lot of bodies. Isaiah 66:15-16, it says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many."
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. The Lord is coming back with his chariots and fire like a whirlwind. All right, to what does it say? To bring judgment.
To render with flames of fire.
And because what? The Lord's coming back with chariots, like we've been reading. The chariots are coming back. They're not coming back just for oohs and ahs. All right, they're coming back to destroy. All right,
To destroy and deliver.
yeah, destroy the wicked and deliver the righteous. All right, and the Lord's going to plead with all flesh. All right, so judgment is coming upon all flesh, because like the brother always goes into, that word plead goes into it's just a Shabbat. Yeah, which is judge. He's going to judge all flesh. So judgment is coming upon the earth. The slain of the Lord, the slain of the Lord shall be many. This isn't anything that's a happy day. This is that dark and gloomy day that we read about all the time. It's a dark and gloomy day. The slain of the Lord shall be many. That the Lord's coming back with a sword. All right, death is coming upon the earth. It's going to fall with violence.
I got some. Going into the sacrifice, the great sacrifice the Lord's getting ready to do. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, and verse 7.
Yep.
Hold thy peace at the presence of the Lord, Yahweh Bashmi Shai, for the day of the Lord is at hand. For he hath prepared a sacrifice, he hath bid his guests. And the brother was brought up with Psalms 3rd chapter about that great sacrifice in Basra. This land right here being so-called America is going to be the second death. Revelation 23rd chapter, the fearful, the unbelieving, the liars, so on and so forth. They're all going to be burnt in that fire. That lake was burning. Fire and brimstone being the thermonuclear missiles. That was just a quick precept on that.
Go down to verse 14.
Verse 14. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near, and hasteth greatly. even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty men shall cry there bitterly.
Now, mighty men is gonna be those warriors, them soldiers. All right, they're not gonna be able to handle what the Lord's gonna bring, bro. We're telling you, this is gonna be a scary day. We're talking about hardened military men. We're talking about men that train for war. Okay, hardened men. They're gonna cry bitterly when this happens. When they crack the clouds, when the Lord and the host crack the clouds, it's gonna be scary for them because they're gonna be the front lines of the ones that have to fight against that. But as it says in 2 Ezra chapter 13, there's fight. They're gonna still fight it, and they're gonna lose. They're gonna die. Finish it.
Verse 15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness.
Go ahead, Paul has something.
Psalms 28:4. Give them according to their deeds, and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. And the word endeavor is going to practice. In the book of Micah, it says they practice wickedness upon their beds. You know, in Psalms it says, Proverbs it says they cannot sleep unless they cause some to harm. You see, so the so-called ultimately is practicing evil. Okay, ultimately trying to ultimately consume the whole nation of Israel, man, and chiefly to get to the elect. You know, because he know we ain't gonna fall under the RFID, which is mark of the beast, because we know the prophecies, man. So the Heavenly Father is getting ready to render unto him, all right, his own practices, man. All right, it says, give them according to their deeds and according to their wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their desert. You know, so the Heavenly Father. Dessert. Yeah, dessert. So the Heavenly Father is getting ready to give this man feed this man his own appetite, man. You know, that's why Scripture say in the fullness of his sufficiency. All right, when he's about to fill his belly, all right, he shall be in straits, man. Meaning what? The RFID chip was getting ready to be made mandatory. Okay, when he's about to fill his belly, the Heavenly Father is getting ready to send Yahushua back, the angels back, the men of the Lord getting ready to get spiritual powers. Okay, so he's getting ready to be upset by prophecy, man. Because the scriptures say that he said that there is no Most High. You see, and that he shall be not a widow. You know, he shall not see widowhood. But the scripture in Isaiah 47, these things shall come to thee in one day, man. You see? In that hour, and it's an hour, Revelation says it's an hour, a day, a month, and a year set for this man's destruction, man. Yep. So there's no upsetting prophecy, bro.
What the Lord's about to recompense them with is their own deeds. So, and what is he known as? The man of perdition. Death. All he does is go around causing destruction, death, destruction, rape, robbery, and murder. So that's what's coming upon him. Go ahead.
Real quick, just a quick precept of what you said. Brother put it up on the comment board. We put verse 14. I'm going to start at verse 12. Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 12, it says, Thus says the Lord power, because that Edom has dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Dan shall fall by the sword. All right, so like the brothers were just saying, you know, because of the deeds that Esau has done, all right, those deeds were him taking vengeance, man. You know, afflicting the Israelites, okay? And so because of that, the Lord is going to stretch out his hand, which his hand starts with Yahushua, okay? Because Yahushua is sitting at the right hand of the Heavenly Father, okay? The scriptures also refer to Yahushua as the Lord's arm, okay? So Esau's going to be destroyed, man. Okay, for his wicked deeds that he's done against the Israelites, man. Mainly Esau. Okay?
Because he's the charge. Pursuing Psalms 83, he's the first one mentioned. Right? Everybody else is just following after him. That's why that's why it's not just gonna be Esau against the Lord and his angels. That's gonna be all the nations. Alright, the kings and their armies. Alright, but being spearheaded by Esau Edom. Alright, so go back to 2nd Ezra.
Kind of 2nd Ezra chapter 13, yep, verse 11. 2nd Ezra 13 and 11. And it reads, And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden Of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke.
Kind of, so in the sudden, it said that all of a sudden, so pretty much that a great multitude that couldn't even be perceived. You couldn't even count how many there was. In a moment, all you could see was what? Dust and the smell of smoke. So they were zapped.
Hey,
You know?
like on 9/11, all that material that was in those buildings, the metal, the concrete, the people, the wood, and all that, and what they say, free fall speed in 8 seconds, tons of concrete and people and everything was turned to dust and the smell of smoke. It was covered in it, man.
So shit, but this is gonna be far greater because at least there was metal frames and shit still. You know, this is all you're gonna see is dust. You know, that goes to show you how intense those laser beams are gonna be, man. Because what they say 9/11 was like jet fuel and this and that, planes, whatever they say it was. And look what the devastation it did. So imagine the laser beams, man, that the Lord is bringing. All right, what does it say? The fire, the tempest, the flaming breath. All right, that's gonna eradicate the militaries that coming against the Lord. And all of a sudden, as it said, upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived. So not one man was left standing in the back somewhere. Just a bunch of ash. And you ever burn your hair, period? You're just gonna smell burnt flesh. That's all you're gonna smell. You're gonna see dust, smoke, and you're gonna smell burnt flesh. Because not even their machines is gonna be left standing, man. Tanks, jets, all that shit's gonna be dust, man. Going back to the earth. You got something? Oh, okay, good.
Ultimately purifying all this whole land, because you know the nukes gonna be coming down, the chariots gonna come down, and then you know you can read what is that, Ezekiel 39, where they're gonna not have any more, or even Psalms 46, I think, where the Lord set the chariots on fire and so on and so forth to destroy all these weapons of war. You know.
We'll stop there.
Hey, real quick, that's why the scripture say the nations shall not learn war anymore. You know, because the war that is getting ready to happen, World War III, right? Ultimately, the Most High told Yahushua, all right. King David said, seen that too. He said, "Sit down on my hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool." See, this whole World War III that's getting made up is for Yahushua to come back and take the crowns of all these nations, man. So after this World War III, there's going to be no other war because there's going to be no need for all these weapons, man. Because the glory of Yahushua, all right, is going to wipe this man's military out, his technology out, man. It's going to blast this guy, man. You know, it's a beautiful time to see that, man. You know?
Yes, but that was pretty much that second. I mean, we could keep going, but the brothers keep rolling.
I got a precept real quick. You know, talking about those not just destroying certain things and leaving machines. Psalms 46. I'm gonna start at verse 6. It says, "The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted." So we was reading 2nd Esdras. All right. It says, "The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Salah. Come behold the works of the Lord, what desolation he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the ends of the earth, and breaketh the bow, and cutteth the spear in asunder. He burneth the chariot in fire. Be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. Yahweh of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Salah." So going right into, you know, this is basically the last time these people are going to learn war. You can read about that again in Ezekiel 39, about taking the weapons of war and so on and so forth, man. All right, these chariots are coming back to not only decimate these people, but also cleanse the land, man. Also with the nukes as well, too, man. All that's coming to just start cleansing all these things, man. And then ultimately at the same time, this also why all these missiles got to be shot off, man. Every single missile, they tell you that, you know, all you archers that been at the bow, shoot your arrows, spare none. Spare none. So they gonna all go off, man. They gonna all be used as a cleaning agent, you know, and then.
I mean, even if they don't get shut off, they gonna blow up when the other missiles come.
Chain reaction.
Yeah, and like brother said, this is all to cleanse the land, just like the Lord did before with water. Water is a cleansing agent. Well, fire is too. You know, you burn a shit at something, you best believe that shit is gonna be free of impurities, just like you do gold.
And the ashes, when the ashes are good like fertilizer for the dirt, you know, and it renews everything.
And that's what's gonna happen on a global scale, man.
Oh yeah.
That's why the scriptures say, come to the chambers, so the indignation be overpassed. It don't tell you exactly how long that's gonna be. You know, who knows? You know, because shit, the scripture tell you that the fire from America is gonna be burning for a long time, man.
Yes, sir.
And so if it's burning here for a long time, anywhere else those missiles hit, it's gonna be burning for a long time too. Not as long as America, obviously, but it's gonna be burning. You know,
It's been fallout and everything, so on and so
yeah,
forth.
There's a lot of cleaning up to be done.
nuclear winter.
That's what I say. Yeah.
Ezekiel 39, they continue employment. They
Continue employment.
They had little suits on and everything.
And then you know they show like when a volcano erupts with all the ashes everywhere.
Yep.
So what happens when the nukes explode? You know.
Nuclear winter.
This is Ezekiel 24 verse 9. Now this is initially talking about Jerusalem. All right, you know, because you know it's pursuant to Deuteronomy 30 and 7. All right, all the things. Even when you go to Matthew 24, when Yahushua said, "See all these things, it shall not be left one stone torn upon another." He's talking about the temple when the Romans would come in. Well, hey, all that applies to Esau, Edom, America. All right, because why? Pursuant to Deuteronomy 37, the things that happened unto Israel. Throughout all these scriptures, and when you read like the one I'm about to read here, that now applies to Esau, Edom, because the temple is not made with hands this time. So Matthew 24 would say, "Shall not one stone be upon another?" That was talking about the actual temple during 70 AD, but that temple is not made with hands. It's us. So that now applies. One stone, there shall not be one stone. That applies to America. All right, pursuant to Deuteronomy 37, the Lord gonna put all these things that He put upon us, He gonna put upon our enemies. So, pursuing back to Ezekiel 24 and 9, it says, "Therefore, thus said the Lord God, woe to the bloody city! I will even make the pile for the fire great, heap on wood, kindle the fire, consume the flesh, and spice it well." And let the bones be burnt.
It's what? It's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know? So it's seasoning the flesh. Seasoning with what, man? These nukes. Spice is gonna spice them up, man. And that's what's gonna cause the fire, man. And to where? The bloody city. America's the bloodiest city on the planet, man. For just the track. Here it is. America's the youngest country on the planet, but has the most atrocious past of human history, man. But it's the youngest country to be established, man.
I got that was it on that?
Oh, one more verse.
Okay.
It says, verse 11 says, "Then set it empty upon the coals thereof, that the brass of it may be hot, and may burn, and that the filthiness of it may be molten in it, that the scum of it may be consumed."
The scum's gonna be consumed.
Ezekiel 24
Right?
and
Get that word scum in the blue there, somebody. Cause that's what the Lord wants to consume, man. He don't need no scum around no more, man. And that's this whole country, man. All right. So this is a sacrifice that everything, you know, and the priest used to do the sacrifice. They would eat certain part of it, you know, and then sacrifice the rest of it, the fat, you know, sprinkle the blood. No, everything is going to be sacrificed to the Lord this time. All right. This last on this great altar called America. Somebody got it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Word is Salah or Kala. It says rust or scum, properly diseased, hence rust.
Exactly. This place is a cesspool of diseases, man. What's the great disease though? The plague of the heart that these people got, man. That's the greatest disease on this planet. And the biggest place with that disease, all right, fuck COVID-19. Every single 99.9% of Americans got this disease, all right, the plague of the heart.
Let me go. I went further into the word. It says to suffer, to be sick, to be diseased.
Yeah. So that's what the Lord's going to get rid of, that scum. They're sick. You sick because the Lord's coming to heal the sick, the righteous, and then the rest of the sick of the nation of Israel is going to be destroyed, right along with the scum of the earth, man.
Where you find scum is waters that have no life. It's not moving water. You know, it's just, it's stagnant waters. You know, so it forms that scum line, which is you get bacteria, you know, and all different types of things, and that's where that disease comes from.
Like a swamp, like a swamp scum.
Exactly. Yep.
Sewer.
Real quick, just a preset going into those missiles, like the brothers were talking about. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, and I'm going to get right to the point. I mean, we can read a lot of this, but talking about the spare none. This is Jeremiah 50 and 25. It says, "The Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Come against her from the uttermost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left."
So it's like when you see somebody like plowing down a field or something, like trees or forest. What do? They heap all the trees together so they can just burn it all in one lump. And that's what the Lord's going to do with this place, man. He's going to lump them all together so they can all be burned together. All right? Spiritually, anyway. You know, he's not saying everybody going to move to Colorado, all right, and one nuke will drop there. This is what the Lord's doing, man. He's heaping them up all together. All right?
Hey, real quick, the same thing they tell you in the book of Joel. Bring them down in the valley of Yehoshaphat, you know. Gather them all in one area.
That's another heap right there.
Yeah, for World War III. Because that's going to be a different heap over in the Middle East. They're going to die in the sands of time over there, but then you're going to have another destruction over here in the lake of fire, man.
Yeah, because that's the land of the Chaldeans. That's why it says, "And destroy her utterly, let nothing of her be left."
It's just
America, a
America.
lake of fire.
At least there's still be something left in the Middle East.
Right.
America ain't nothing going to be left.
And back to that example, Matthew 24. It shall not be left here one stone upon another. All right, this temple not going to be destroyed. You know, the elect. You know, this being built. You know, so that's pursuant to Esau, Edom in this time period. You know.
Yeah, because he's the one. Hey, if you think about it, he's the one that's taking on that now. Yeah, talking about the temple. You know, the things of the temple anyway. Yeah, was it on that? Okay, you got something?
Yep.
Oh, you had
No, let me get it.
Yes, back you up on that precept. Joel 2 and 3, get right to the point. Joel 2 and 3. "A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness."
That's America, man. Everybody want to come to America to live out their dreams. Oh, hit up South Beach and LA, what do they call it, Venice Beach. You go to the Big Apple. All right, all these paradise. America's paradise is as they portray it in the media, as they brainwash people with. But what? It's gonna be a desolate wilderness after these missiles hit. All right, there ain't gonna be no scenic sights here in America no more, man. It's gonna be a desert. All right, just complete vast land of emptiness. Go ahead.
It says, "And behind them, the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them."
Nothing shall escape them. That's why, get Malachi 4:1 real quick. Why none escape it? None escape them. It says that none shall, what it say? Nothing shall escape them?
Nothing shall escape them, that's right.
So who's them? The army of the Lord, the missiles, man. That's one of the armies of the Lord, those nuclear thermal missiles. Go ahead.
Malachi chapter 4, verse 1.
This is why nothing's going to escape them. Go ahead.
For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly.
Yeah, isn't America known to be the proud to be American, the home of the brave,
land of the proud, or something like
land
that.
of the free. Yeah, but they always say proud to be American. They got bumper stickers saying proud of this, proud to be a parent of a honor roll student, proud to be this. Man, that's kind of
And
So
you got gay pride.
yeah, kind of. That's the biggest proud, pride.
And the Holy
But most importantly, Esau's pride. He's the one that runs America. The pride of Esau has deceived him. Go ahead.
And all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
So it's not going to leave neither root nor branch. So if you cut a tree down, guess what? You left the roots. And maybe some branches over there that fell down. But what? The missiles that no one's going to escape, like Brother Red, it's not going to leave neither root nor branch. It's going to take everything with it. All right? And all it's going to leave behind is sand, dirt, dust. And that's years to come after those missiles hit, man. because the intensity of the nukes is gonna pursuing the second Peter's chapter 3 is gonna melt the very elements, man. Dissolve the elements. And we're talking about the periodic table. You look at some of those elements, man. Some of them boiling points, melting points is a lot greater than the others, but all that's gonna be melted. Even the hydrogen, oxygen, all that's gonna be evaporated, melted, down to I don't know what, really.
Hey, but there's in the scripture where they say, I can't think of who said, they're like, Lord, were you? It might have been Ezra. So like, Lord, were you upset with the sea? You dried up all the sea, all the fish, all the fowl there. Were you mad with all them? The beasts of the field, were you mad with them? So they're part of elements as well too, man. All this is gonna be gone over here, man. Especially when those nukes go down, man. Those nukes, they don't discriminate. Once that thing go off, everything in its vicinity is just decimated, man.
I got you right here. Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 8. Was the Lord displeased against the rivers? Was thine anger against the rivers?
Real quick, water is an element, man. It's getting evaporated on up, man. Go ahead.
Was thy wrath against the sea, that thou didst ride upon thy horses and thy chariots of salvation? Chariots of salvation, what are those?
Angels, so-called UFOs.
God. That's really the point there. Oh, well, I'll read the next verse. Thy bow was made quite naked, according to the oaths of the tribe, even thy word, Salah. Thou didst cleave the earth with rivers. The Lord's going to destroy. It's going to be like the brother is going into. It's almost like the Lord is pissed off at at everything. That how much destruction is going to be out here. It's going to be like you're not going to be able to differentiate between what the Lord is mad at and what's collateral damage, so to speak. The Lord is going to bring destruction upon the earth. It's going to be nuclear missiles exploding, and then you're going to see the chariots of the Lord come upon the earth in the atmosphere. And if you're just a person, a regular, citizen of America, and you just happen to be a part of all this, you're not going to know what the hell's going on. You're going to know that we're in the middle of a nuclear war, but at the same time, it's an alien invasion. You don't know what the hell is going on. You're just going to see destruction, and then eventually you're going to be taken. Not taken up, taken out. All right? The Lord's just going to be just taking everything out. Rivers are going to dry up. Lake beds are going to be, lakes are going to be dried up.
Everything.
You said it.
Everything. Everything encompasses everything. For the fact that the air is going to be evaporated, made to its bare elements, tells you everything you need to know, because everything is made up of elements. All right? The periodic table is filled with what? Elements. In which everything is made of elements. Even things man-made, guess what? Those things were made from things of the earth. They're still made of elements. And like the brother was saying, people aren't going to understand what, seas, the fish, everything's going to be destroyed, even the animals, all right, the beasts of the field. Because what? The Lord created it. He can do whatever he wants with it. It's like you build a sandcastle, put little toys in there, and just start kicking the sandcastle and crushing the toys. You can do whatever you want. You created it, and that's what the Lord's going to do. Again, but this time in a far greater fashion than when he flooded the earth. You got something else?
Yeah, I got something quick to go into pretty much the balance. As rough as this destruction is going to be, there's a set purpose for it, and going to that new heavens and new earth. It's Isaiah 65:17. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind. So going into those elements, pretty much going back to their basic form, it's going to make everything fresh. Because going into energy, it's not going to just evaporate. It's still going to be on the earth, and that's why the ash is still going to be here, because it's going to ferment the earth and do its thing, so on and so forth, to ultimately break into that new heavens and new earth, which is going to be beautiful, because going into the kingdom of heaven.
And when that nuclear winter comes, it's a whole. The Lord, science. The word science means knowledge. The Lord has a whole science behind why He's going to do it this way. The fire, the blocking out of the sun. There's a lot that goes behind. We don't understand everything. Esau can't even explain that. He can explain to you why a dog takes shit 3 times a day. But the Lord's doing everything specifically to renew the earth. The earth is about to be renewed, and it's through this cleansing process, which is going to be fire.
Like you said, real real quick, because you got to think, like the brother's saying, when you read in Revelations 18, it says this is that merchant city. So you got products from all over the world right here in America. All those products move from one place of the planet all the way over here to the Western Hemisphere. When this place is consumed and burned up, the earth is going to be rejuvenated, man. It's going to receive all those elements and all those things taken from all those different parts of the world. The earth is going to be replenished, man. You know,
Just like when a volcano erupts, what happens? Land gets created.
You know, good land, good soil.
Exactly. Yeah.
Rich
That's
soil.
one of the most fertile the most fertile soil comes from volcano.
Yeah.
And then what? You can purify water with volcano rock, man. Lava rock. You know.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's charcoal. You know.
Cleansing agent.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cleansing agent.
Hey, I got a precept for you.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Luke 12:49. I come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it already be kindled? You know, so the brother brought out that Ezekiel 24, I believe in 9, where it said spices. He shall, put spices. Those spices ultimately is what going to be the race rise, all this shit going on the planet Earth, man. That's the Heavenly Father, spicing this place up ultimately for the missiles to come down. Yahushua, man.
Preparation.
Right, and that's that fire that's going to be kindled. Okay, now that's why Isaiah 33:6 says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability, because the only way you're going to be stable is to have the understanding of the scriptures, man. You see, your heart set on the salvation, your heart set on Yahweh Shai redeeming you, man.
Otherwise, you might get caught up in one of those spicy fires. You won't even make it to the end. You get caught up in one of them damn car fires or some shit. Because if you don't have the stability of the Lord on you, the Lord said He's gonna bring. There's already gonna be fires on this earth. Before the Lord even makes His return. And you guys could get caught up in that shit.
Yeah.
You call it a blessing, you can call it mercy, whatever the hell. Either way, it's judgment. The Lord is going to bring judgment upon this earth, and then the great day of judgment is going to come after that. And it's when that real fire, it's when that heat is turned up, when that fat is burning. You dig? Go ahead.
Use that on that one?
Yeah, that's it, brother.
Kind of. So I want to go, talking about how the Lord has to remake everything, and why all these things are going to be, have to be cleansed and purified, all right? This is, I'm starting, Isaiah 24, verse 1, it says, behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. All right? And so it's going to go into the reason why it's done like that, because all these things are tainted, all right? So it says, and it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury. Right? So everything is pretty much corrupted. Verse 3, it says, the land shall utterly be empty and utterly spoiled, for the Lord hath spoken His word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. It says, the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant. And it says, one more verse, verse 6, it says, therefore has the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. So the earth, under the condition, according to Job 9:24, the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. And what did they wind up doing to the earth? Destroying everything, man, from the seeds, the GMOs, the animals, the minds of the people. Everything over here is all defiled. Even the land is defiled, because they came over here and slaughtered the so-called Native Americans over here, man. So the land has to be cleansed by the same blood, and he who spilled this blood over here. But not only over here, he spilled blood over the whole globe, man. The so-called white man has come in and has subdued all these nations, swallowed down these riches, like you can read the book of Job, swallowed down all these riches, man, and oppressed all these people, man. This is why his blood has to be spilled, man. This is why he has to be taken out of place. But not only that, the land has to be cleansed, because he's corrupted the whole land, man. He's got GMO seeds out here, man. If things were to keep going, you'd have all these fruits and vegetables coming up seedless, all right, all steroided out or whatever, whatnot, man. So all this has to be cleansed. All right, and also like the scripture says, it says, going back to verse 6, it says, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. The few men being left is going to basically be the elect, the righteous men. That's going to be that new fresh start, man. Same way it's like the so-called the seeds. You have these tainted seeds. Now you have the so-called pure stash of seeds, man. No more GMO seeds, man. This is the reason why things has to be completely cleansed and start fresh. Because everything is so tainted, man. So-called white man has corrupted everything.
Yeah, that's why it says in 2 Corinthians 8 chapter, first verse, the world now is for many, the world comes for few. You know, because it's going to be for a few. You know, they're select. Because the Lord started from the beginning. He wants everything in its true strength, and that's what the beginning state is. You know, it's most strongest form.
Original.
Yeah.
And that's why the scripture say, "Who shall be able to stand?" All right, in that day, the elect. You know, because how is the Lord, you know, going to be able to save if there's no faith? You know, the scripture say, "Shall I find faith on the earth?" It's going to be those few men that believe in the scriptures, that wholeheartedly believe in Yahweh Shem Shai. Those are going to be the ones that's able to stand, and they're going to be led off. All right, that's why in second chapter it says, "Tell my people, all right, that I will give them the kingdom." Man, the number of whom thou longest for is acquired. Those few men is being acquired, man, and that's why the destruction is getting held back. That's why all these things is popping off on the planet Earth. Okay, because ultimately the elect, that number, those few men, all right, they're getting made up, man. That house of David is being built, man, ultimate to its perfection. You see, and the third temple is being built, man. You know.
You asked something?
No.
Okay. I thought you would. All right. Going back to the point. Well, the brother started out with this is Acts 1 verse I'll start at 6. All right. It says, "When they therefore were come together, they asked him, saying, Lord, wilt thou this time restore again the kingdom of Israel?" You know, but the Lord, you know, at this point in time, the Lord didn't come with that glory, man. You know, he didn't come with the host of heavens. As you know, as we talking about the coming of our Lord right now. All right, so I'm reading, it says, "He said unto them, It is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power, but ye shall receive power after the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth," which is over here in the Western Hemisphere. Right? It says, "And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight." All right, so it's talking about that UFO, man. Second Ezra 13, all the precepts the brothers was bringing out, all right, from the beginning of this whole sit-down lesson. It says, "And while they looked steadfast toward the heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven." So the same way he left, the same way he's going to return. All right, the point was that glorious chariot that he left him, and he's going to come back an even glorious chariot. All right, the brother read in 2 Ezra 13, man. It was a mountain, man. It looked like a huge mountain. He couldn't see the end of it. All right, so from the end to the other end. All right, so the Lord is coming back in that same like manner. You know, that's why he said, you know, while you standing up and gazing into the heavens, and he coming back. He coming back with that same power. He coming back in like fashion. All right.
And really think about it, because I think the human eye, you know, naked eye, can only see about like 30 miles in the distance. Say you in the ocean, you can only see about 30 miles. That's an average. The elder Ayathan just did a video of some chariots that were seen on the moon, and he did the math. You know, he did the circumference of the moon, and then he did the calculations for a rough estimate of how big those chariots were, and they were about 1,500 miles in diameter. You know, the length of them. So imagine that, if a chariot appeared that was 1,500 miles long, you couldn't even see where it started from. So if the Lord's coming in a bigger chariot than that, then who knows how big that chariot's gonna be, man. All you're gonna see is a little spot of the chariot. That's it, man. You ain't gonna, you might, if you at the very edge of it, you might see the end of it, but then you know it's just gonna go on, and you know, as far as the eye can see.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna go back to 2 Corinthians 13?
But we can. There was a lot more.
That's what I was
really, I
saying.
wanted to go through that whole chapter, but that's.
Well, I can't.
Go ahead, Bill.
Because going to the point about Acts, going into why marvel thou, paraphrasing. This is 2 Corinthians 13 and 32. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen which I have shewed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. So it's plain as day, you know, this chapter is talking about Yahushua, you know, because the scripture's going into, it backs itself up. You know, it's the same story being pretty much repeated, and it's all coming up to this day we're coming into right now. You know, verse 33, and when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another. So they're going to be, again, saying the same thing. They're going to be fighting against one another, and they're going to look, and they're going to start fighting against Yahushua. Verse 34, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. Verse 35, but he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion. So pretty much, you know, the Lord's going to prevail. You know, so, and this is the thing. Now, this is your nation's time to shine. You know, if you guys are who you say you are, especially so-called white man, you saw Edom. You know, you're on top of the world, and you're this and that. You're the bad man. All right, here's your time. You know, to go against a heavenly force. Show your true power. You know, but obviously it's not going to be none avail because, again, nothing's going to be left of you but dust and ashes. You know.
All right, quick precept. Jeremiah 30:22. And ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. Behold, the whirlwind of the Lord goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. The fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until he hath done it, and until he hath performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it perfect. So Esau, Edom, all right, the so-called white man is done, man. The Heavenly Father's intents of his heart. Scripture say the counsel of many devices in a man's heart, but the counsel of the Lord shall stand. And the counsel of the Heavenly Father is ultimately wiping the so-called white man, Esau, Edom out, man. All right, bringing us back into power. The scripture say the earth was made for our sakes, man. See, so now we're coming back into that power. Now, Lamentations 4 chapter says the punishment of our iniquity is accomplished, man. So now is the time to put on that glorious apparel, all right, which is what? Being adorned with this truth, all right, putting on the scriptures. And once we're adorning ourselves with this truth, that's what? Bringing down the so-called white man and uplifting the right hand of Yahushua, all right? Yahweh Yahushua, which is his man, you see? So Esau Edom is through, bro, you know?
Yeah. Let me go to, this is Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1, read 1 through 4. It says, Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll, the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. And then he said unto me, This is the curse that goes forth over the whole face of the earth.
And then this is talking about the chariots of the Lord. All right, it's a curse that goeth over the whole face of the earth. Okay, because ultimately it's gonna fill the whole face of the earth when the Lord, you know, I'm not talking about UFO sightings here and there. No, I'm talking about when the Lord returns with His host, it's gonna be a curse unto this earth. Because what? They're coming to bring great destruction. All right, they're coming to subdue, all right, the armies of this of these nations. Keep going.
And every eye's gonna see because it's gonna feel. It's gonna, you know, everybody's gonna be able to see. It's gonna be enough for these chariots. It's not gonna just be a, you know, like your brother said, a couple sightings here and there, whatever, whatnot. No, it's gonna be the same thing going on over the whole planet Earth.
It ain't gonna be something you're gonna be able to put off. Yeah. Like, oh, y'all saw what's happening over there in Russia or America? Yeah, man, it's UFOs just over there.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be something. Tonight, oh, it was a blimp or it was a drone.
It's gonna be out there. It's gonna be out and open at that point.
Because now you see them. They may be like lights. They might change color. They might disappear. You're gonna see the actual material of them ships, right, when the Lord returns, man. You're gonna see the detail in them. But they're gonna come real close to you, man. They're gonna come down so you can see them. You know, not like a million miles and miles away. Nah, man, just a speck, a little light in the sky. Now it's gonna be the chariot. You're gonna see it, not the lights. You're gonna see the headlights in the distance. Now you're gonna see the chariot, man.
Piss your pants when you see it too. That bugging out, seeing it might be a shape you never seen before. It might be a color you never seen before.
Cover your eyes.
You don't even know. Like you who knows, man?
You're gonna cover your eyes, cry for your mama when you see that, man.
It's scared to go to sleep, man. It's hard spelling the figure, man. You know, so a lot of people are just gonna drop dead just from the sight. Because look, like we said earlier, people bug out when they see chariots. Now imagine when you actually see it. It's just sitting there hovering, and then you in the midst of chaos. And who knows, you know, come up hither my people. You're gonna hear their trumpets, and you're gonna hear a voice. You know, and people ain't gonna understand it. Most people ain't gonna understand. Come up hither.
They
You
don't
know?
People, they stealing folks, shoot UFOs.
But check it out, because the crazy thing about it, the reason why they're really gonna be afraid is because they're gonna, the only thing that they have faith in is their government, and they know that the government's not gonna be able to handle whatever the fuck that is in the sky.
Or the government gonna be so-called gone.
Yeah, they're gonna be destroyed. But but at the end of the day, the regular people who see it and witness it, they're gonna, they're gonna know it's over, because their faith lies in what man got, what this place got down here.
Yeah.
They don't have faith. They don't know what that is. In their eyes, they think it's alien invasion. They don't know what that is. So their faith is going right into their military, and in their eyes, it's like, what is the U.S. military going to do with that, or whatever country you live in? What are they going to do about that? There's nothing you're going to be able to do about that. You're just going to have to take that L. It's over. Your way of living, that everything you ever known and believed in and worked for, is over at that point when you see that in the sky. Whoever got it.
Let me finish this off. This is going back to Zechariah 5. Let me read verse 3 and 4. It says, Then said he unto me, This is the curse that's going forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it.
That's Esau.
Yeah, exactly. Esau, he stealeth, and then what? He has you swearing in the Bible in court, man.
Hey, what's the charge if you be found with a man?
Exodus 21.
Yeah, and also, they talk about Esau in the scriptures. It says that open not the house of prisoners, so he still has Jacob in captivity, man.
The scripture tell you the thief cometh not, but to steal.
The captive hasten.
Yep.
That he may
Be loose. And so what? When the Lord comes back, you're gonna find, the children of Israel still in captivity in the hands of who? Esau, Edom, man. All right, you want to go ahead and bring that out?
Exodus 21 and 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand.
Nah, that's what the Lord said. Or, like, okay, he stole you, but you free now.
Or
I am not done yet.
They caught you red-handed, man. Esau, that thief, man. But go ahead.
Come on. Or if he be found in his hand, which we are found in his hand.
That's why we got birth certificates. You got driver's license. You want to leave the country, you got to get a passport. It took, Jake said, "Oh, I choose to go on vacation." No, you ask permission to go on vacation. Because if you don't ask permission, you can't go nowhere. You still in the possession of this devil, man.
He shall surely be put to death.
That's the judgment for Esau.
And that's going into that curse that's coming upon the whole earth.
Going back to
Yeah, because that curse is coming upon the whole earth. Mainly it's for the people of the curse.
Yeah, we read earlier in Isaiah 34.
God. And let me just go back into it, just to back you brothers up. It says, Zechariah chapter 5, verse 3 and 4. It says, Then he said unto me, This is the curse that go forth over the whole face of the earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it. Everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, to Esau's house.
The thief.
And the house of him who sweareth falsely by my name, all right, who stole our inheritance, is saying that he, basically he's the children of Israel.
Yeah.
You can read about that, Ezekiel 36, 1 through 5. Surely in the fire of my jealousy, all right, because he's gonna get Esau for pointing his land into Esau's hand, man, and reigning over us like that, man. So all these scriptures line up to the judgment of Esau Edom for what he's done, man, touching the apple of the Most High's eyes, man.
Yeah, that's like the scripture said, though favor be shown to the wicked, they shall not learn righteousness. Paraphrase. They took on the book, they took on our heritage, they took on the scriptures as they claim to. But what they break every law, they completely contrary to the Lord. So they're gonna have to be judged according to the scriptures.
Sucks to be done.
Let me just finish it off. It says, And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and it shall consume it with the timber and the stones thereof.
That's gonna be a ugly house guest. Big old chariots coming in there, man. Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that. Yeah, they coming to see you, Esau. They coming to see all these governments. All right, because you did the Israelites dirty. All right, yeah, you had a job to do. Yeah, it was kind of, the Lord put you in over us, but you took it to a further extent. All right, you took it way beyond what the Lord, wanted. Okay.
And further the affliction.
Yeah, further the affliction.
Even with slavery, there's rules.
Mm-hmm.
And the law will tell you how to deal with slaves, man.
Hanging the man. Yeah.
You know?
It's supposed to take him down. Yeah, you can't hang people.
Yeah,
It's in the
exactly,
scripture.
yeah.
But you gotta take him down.
Yeah, take him down.
Yeah, you just leave him up there 2 weeks.
Rotting.
Niggas just rotting away, half charred. Niggas coming by, taking pictures, poking at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they tell you about mistreating him and beating him, because if he run away, then
Yeah, now you out of luck. You
Yeah,
just
now
lost an employee.
exactly. So
That's why if you're a manager at a place, you don't just shit on everybody because you didn't look.
Right.
Everybody quits. Now what?
yeah.
Who's gonna work? You.
You gotta go do the work.
You gotta do it. You know.
So he, like you say, he just abused it. You know, took it further. You know?
He just took on the book so he could be seen in the light of good. You know, he want to be seen as the children of light, so to say.
That's what it
That's
gets
why
back
I call himself white.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pure, innocent.
You gotta pay for all that. So like, you think you're gonna get away with it? Because you got off. What's that? Let me get it real quick, if I can, brother. I'm gonna try to get it real fast and swiftly. Ecclesiastes 11:8. It says, is that it?
8 and 11.
8 and 11. So I get the water, bro. You know what I want. 8 and 11, Ecclesiastes. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So, and they don't see that they're getting judgment from high. Okay, so you know their belief in the Lord is basically dwindled down to nothing. You know, because all these different nations, they say they believe in God or they're Christians or whatever the case is, but they continue to do evil. You know, and to a point where evil is done is executed. I mean, evil is
It's the norm.
Yeah,
It's a normal thing.
It's built on evil. It's built on lies.
You didn't fuck his bitch? What you mean?
You gay? Yeah. You know, like, dog, that's evil, bro.
Bolted in the color.
Good evil.
Yeah, well,
And that's why the scripture say a turning of things upside down. The Lord's coming back to turn things upside right, man.
Right,
You know,
up,
this place is upside down. You've seen the what's this? It's a Netflix series. Damn, what is it? It was like it was an underworld, not an underworld, but it was like a damn, was it a Stranger Things?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how they would go into the alternate universe and everything was evil. Well, this is we're living it. We're in the alternate universe right now, the ultimate realm.
Yeah, we read Isaiah 24. That's why the Lord's coming to destroy everything. Everything is upside down and inside out, man. This is what Esau did when the earth was given into his power, man. He took everything that the Most High said and made it all upside down. Don't eat pork, or we gonna put bacon on everything, man. You know?
We live in a society full of confusion. Everything that the scriptures speak about, this society is contrary to it. They like brother said, the scriptures say don't eat pork. People eat pork on everything. Bacon this, bacon that.
Born in the same man.
You got men dressed as women, women dressed as men, men actually pretending to be women with tits. You got women with dicks.
Yeah, being gay.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, bro. What the hell?
And they even promote that from your youth nowadays, man.
Born
Right?
into it.
Yeah. This is how this new society is, man. It's wickedness on all ends, man. Everything. You know, if you try to so-called be out here like, oh, I'm going to church, go read the Bible, people look at you. You believe in that? You strange because you want to believe in righteousness, man. Or you don't want to go and do some wickedness, man. Then they look at you as outcasts, man.
What they will say is they'll be like, oh yeah, you're going to church. Yeah, I gotta go to church too. But the niggas go to church, but they don't believe anything that's written in the scriptures.
You tell me going to church, they'll be like, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But if you tell me you do what we do,
yeah. Let's go into the scriptures. See what it
millions of people go to church, nobody bats an eye, you know. They actually promote it, you know, because what? There's wickedness going on in churches. Adultery,
Oh yeah.
all right, which really they're committing spiritual fornication in the churches. So no one's going to tell you not to go to church, but they will tell you not to go down to the corner and listen to those guys preaching Bibles.
All the laws, statutes, and commandments that's written inside the scripts. They're like, no, you can do this, you can do that. The Lord, you know, He'll do so on. I mean, they got homosexuals being married in the church, man.
In church.
What do
You
you
got
what
homo
about that?
pastors.
Yeah, women pastors, gay pastors. Yeah, all this stuff is. Come on, bro. This has got to be it, bro. This has got to be what the Lord is talking about. This has got to go. Okay, and it's all been brought forth by the so-called white man. So that's why when you read in Zechariah, the Lord's going to bring His chariots into this house. He's going to come make a visitation. He's going to come see you.
Oh, also, you just said something about was it 2 Thessalonians 2, man? The son of perdition, man, being revealed. Because this is the motherfucker. This is the motherfucker who did all this, man. Right, they turned everything into a lie, into a falsehood. But now he's being revealed, man, and then the Lord is revealing him through what the spirit of His mouth, man, through His prophets, man. All right.
Yeah, because this world is the ultimate example of rebellion against the Lord. You know, because pretty much going into the things being turned upside down, it means rebellion. Because rebellion is the sin of witchcraft.
Yeah, and which is you put to death.
Yeah, because that's what this place is built off of, witchcraft. That's why going into satanic worship, they turn everything upside down. They flip signs upside down. They play songs backwards. You know, that's going into the brother's examples. Everything's backwards. And that's
They'll even use the same thing that the right hand uses, such as numbers and this and that, stones.
Just want to say that.
You know, they use that on the left hand side, like the stones. Who else do you see rocking stones and using stones? Witches, warlocks, and then with numbers, they use the same numbers that are spiritual, like 33. That's how old the old Lord was. 13, the 12 disciples in the Yahushua. Okay, it's just different, you know.
And they also what they do, they put it in their logos. You got these big corporations like Taco Bell, and you know McDonald's is just it's a 13 on the side, you know, or whatever the case is. You know, it's just all they put it 666 and all these. You can't tell me this shit ain't that's not the number of the beast, and that's the beast. You can't tell it. They clearly make it public. They're telling you we the evil motherfuckers, bro. We're telling you, and you don't want to believe it. Oh, you conspiracy theorists. You can go online, you can look at search the Google logo and see the 666 and all these motherfuckers' logos. These are big billion-dollar corporations. And everybody goes and shops at these places. You see 666 and all
the news like CBS and all that.
Yeah, all CNI. Like, dog, come on, man. Y'all niggas is not paying attention, bro.
That's the best place to hide it, though.
In plain sight.
Yeah, like that,
right in front of you.
the Sirius XM satellite. You know, Sirius was like the so-called dog star.
Yeah,
and
dog
if you look
star.
at the logo, it's a dog looking at a damn star. You know what I mean? They put it in
Egyptian shit. You know, they say that's something Egyptian. That's what Egyptian.
Which Esau, that's the guys he worships. The Egyptian guys, the Canaanite guys, the gods of the Philistine, all the ancient Hamitic gods. That's who Esau worships, you know. And then he got one god, Quaz. Very metal. But that guy, Esau don't really worship him, man. He worships the Hamitic gods, man.
Hey, but also like you brothers were saying, they got all the same stuff that they got on the right hand side. They even have like we have high holy days, right? And certain things like that, the Passovers and whatever, whatnot. But not even the holidays they promote, like Christmas and stuff like that. But they actually have like
right now we're in one.
They do those mass sacrifices. Yeah, they do these mass sacrifices. You gotta go and things behind the scenes where they talk about these things, Bohemian Grove type of shit like that, and all these different things. But they really believe in this. Just like how we have our high holy days or whatever, whatnot. They have theirs. Where they do mass sacrifice and things like that. And just like brother said, Bohemian Grove, like they sacrificing the Molech with the so-called fake the effigy of a child. But no, man, they actually having real sacrifices, man.
These are your
leaders.
Your leaders, your
presidents,
and presidents and prime ministers,
and that's why remember the movie Eyes Wide Shut. The dude told Tom Cruise, if I told you the people that were at that party, you would be shot.
They're wearing masks and shit, so you don't even know.
Yeah, I showed the brothers.
Yeah. These are some big men and big dignitaries, man. And they eat blood, drink blood, eat babies.
Yeah.
They do that. Like it happens.
But wait, they making themselves a living sacrifice for evil. You see what I'm saying? They actually going forward to doing all these things and also taking all their money and stuff, so on and so forth, putting it towards this here agenda. Like the Bill Gates, like, bro, with all the money that you got, why don't you just go up to an island somewhere and just go live life? Nah, but you got to reinvest into certain things. Yeah. You got to make your whole time on here as a living sacrifice for the beast system, man. For evil, man. This is what these people over here doing, man. Spending their time and their resources on pushing that agenda, but like we're spending our time and our resources on pushing the Lord's agenda.
I believe Gates, he's I forgot what the term is. Apostle Bob brought it up, but he comes from the Rockefellers.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
So he's just a face man, just like Trump,
Hey, I got it.
Okay.
Isaiah 20. I got it's 4 precepts. I'll start at 13. Isaiah 29, verse 13 through 16. It says, Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precepts of men. And that's going to what the brother's been saying. Like, here it is. This whole place is void of judgment. Mm-hmm. Right? Good is considered evil. Evil is considered good. This is void of judgment, man. And it's taught by the precepts of men.
Yeah, exactly. That's why our people, they listen to Esau before the scriptures. Esau said, "Oh, you going to hell if you do this." That ain't in the scriptures. That's the precepts of men. Oh, you're gonna go to hell if you do this and that, do that. But then when it comes to actually applying what the scriptures actually say, there's their hearts far from the Lord. You know, they say they love the Lord, but then they listen to Esau. You know,
That's where their trust is, man. You know, that especially like right now and during this pandemic, you know, everybody say, "Oh, I'm a Christian, I believe," so on and so forth. But what? Instead of showing, putting their faith on, right? They show the faith. They putting on these you know these things that the government is telling them is gonna make them safe, man. They show where they're you know they're putting their arm, they're trusting in Egypt, man. All right, but that's the ultimate separation between us and them, man.
Right. That's why the scripture says you cannot serve man and the Most High. You know, choose you this. Book of Joshua 24 says, "Choose you this day whom you shall serve." Man,
you can't serve two masters, man.
Yeah, because I would say, because faith is you know, faith is faith regardless, whether it be in the left hand side or right hand side. You know, so they have a covering, but that's why it says in Isaiah 30, but not of me. You know, because they trust in the left hand side.
Yeah, they have faith in wickedness. They have faith in the double agent Satan. You know, he's a double agent, and he's slowly loosening his hold on Esau, man. You know, but what, they still have faith in him. That's why they do rituals. Our brothers are going into. They would, just like we would do sacrifices unto the Lord, they do sacrifices unto Satan. You know, which ultimately Satan's working for the Most High.
They don't know that though.
There's a movie. It was a Will Smith movie. I can't remember what it's called. I've seen it years ago, but Will Smith pretty much played the devil, and you know, you had people pretty much coming to him. Esau was coming to him, you know, trying to get the answers, and that was his councilman, so to say, just Satan. You know, of course he had to be a black guy, but goes to shoot. That's what Esau does, man. He has councils. When he does his councils, you know, I'm not talking about dude CEO of such and such corporation. I'm talking about the bank, the elite. All right, the ones that is literally sipping lemonade in the shade.
Yeah,
you know, them guys, they actually have just because it's not far fetched. Just like King Saul had the witch summon Samuel, they do the same thing and summon Satan, man. And he's in there telling them what to do, and then after he leaves, he's laughing at him, fucking idiots. He's about to turn his back soon on, because he's nothing more than a servant of the Lord. He's an angel of the Lord on the left-hand side.
I got a quick one for you.
Yeah, let me finish.
Go ahead, man.
It says, "Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people." All right, it's like, yeah, among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. And that's talking about this. All
They're
right.
waking up. Us waking up. Because that's a marvelous work. That's a wonder. How everybody else of our nation, the majority of our nation, is bugged the hell out, don't know what's going on, don't know who they are, what to do, what's coming. But here it is, just ordinary men teaching Bibles and knowing who they are. This is a wonder, man. The Lord has woken us up. This is a miracle.
Hey, the trillions of dollars that Esau put into this, trying to stop this from coming out, trying to hide this,
BDG.
you know, but it didn't work. The Spirit allowed it to flourish into what it is today. You know, here it is. We're in 2020, and it's dubbed the year of prophecy for a reason. You know, look at the fruit of the elders and apostles, and they didn't even have to leave the country. They barely leave the state. It was the last time they left the state. You know, look at all the people waking up around the planet Earth. The Lord is getting His people together now. Now it's getting to the point where it's time to wrap it all up, so that all this destruction and hell can come upon the earth, and then the Lord can save His men. Go ahead.
Alright, back in this. It says, "Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among these people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid."
These guys that everybody goes to look, seeking answers for, them guys are finished, man. They're hiding like dog. They're running and hiding like a dog with his tail between his legs, man. You know, these people ain't got the answers, but what miraculous work or marvelous work. All right, that wonder, that's where the answers are coming from now, which is ultimately from the Lord. And he's shutting everybody else down, man. The false prophets, all right, the naysayers, the gainsayers, all that is coming to naught their wisdom is perishing because they don't have right now. They can't tell you what's going on. They don't know what's next. Now everybody's trying to hop on the mark of the beast train, the RFID chip train. Come on, man. We've been saying that. Now everybody and their mother knows what the mark of the beast is. Fuck out of here, man. You got who you get that wisdom from, man? You got it from the men of the Lord, which was imparted unto us. That wisdom was imparted unto us through the Lord. All right? Or from the Lord through the Holy Spirit. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us?
Yeah, and that was speaking on the Israelites in that time. Now it's talking about Esau, man. Because before the wicked prophets, so to say, they would the false prophets, all right, they would lie, straight up lie, man. And they would try to hide their counsel as if the Lord didn't see it, man. Just like when they were dealing with Jeremiah. But look, now there's nothing. Anything that's done in the dark is being brought out to the light. Go ahead, up.
And their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us?
See, that's what Esau's saying, man. Esau thinks he's getting away with everything. Ain't nobody see. But at this point, Esau doesn't even care anymore. He's just doing it in your face anyway. But exactly. But at one point, he was like, ain't nobody saying what we're doing. People would hear the things he was saying. Like, you guys are conspiracy theories, this and that. Now nobody says nothing because he's doing it in your face. But he's still going on about it like the Most High ain't seeing what we're doing. The Most High is the one making you do that, man. Good.
Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, going to that Satan, he's talking about Satan laughing at him, they asking him for answers. And then what? When he leave, he laughing at them. Because it's like, bro, you realize, like, who's in control here?
And matter of fact, he told you what the Lord told him.
Exactly.
Because remember the council in the heavens?
Yep.
The Lord said, exactly. How are we gonna do this? He had a council. Hey, let's do it like this. No, let's do it like that. Nah, I like that one. All right, you go do that. Well, Satan asked permission for what he got to tell Esau, man. Just like he asked permission to fuck with Job.
Because Esau think he's so wise. He got his, like the elder brought out, he got his Illuminati cards or whatever. That's secret counsel. Let's push this COVID-19 thing. Like they having them brainstorming and whatever them little councils they have, and they coming up with all this stuff. But like the brother said, the Most High telling them, okay, push COVID-19. Telling Satan to tell them, yo, push this COVID-19 thing. Then you're gonna do mandatory vaccination. The Most High is telling Esau to do all these things through Satan. So why? So the Most High can come with the right hand and come. But the Most High needs him to do these things, so he's telling him, do this now, do this now, do this now. Because why? He got the right hand side being set up to counter him.
And he building
just like that.
Building the case on this man,
Yeah.
He's letting them do these things, so when he does come back, he's going to be justified to take this man out in a grandiose manner, if that's a word. He's going to take this man out something special, because this man, when the Lord comes back, Esau's going to have done so much wickedness at that point.
You're going to throw the whole book at him.
Yeah, the whole book, bro.
They say all the curses written that's in this book, try to be changing these words or whatnot, so on and so forth, man. Esau really good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, boy.
And the Most High has let us know, all right, certain, the key factors. We don't know everything Esau is going to do, but we know key factors. The game, like the whole thing with the chip, right? We, brothers can brainstorm different ways. I think we think they're gonna do it this way. We think they're gonna do it that way. Regardless, the chip is gonna be implemented.
We know for sure.
Yeah, we know for sure the chip is gonna be implemented. You know what I mean? That's one of the key things. Like his whole, regardless of what avenue Esau takes to push it or to implement it, it's gonna be implemented.
We got the overall blueprint.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when you look at a blueprint for a house, it don't show you exactly where outlets. It don't show you the exact details. This switch is gonna go here. The outlet's gonna go there. Okay, it don't show you fine details.
Yeah.
Well, we know. Okay, it's gonna be a house.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a truck. No, it's gonna be a house. We know that. We got the blueprint, which is the scriptures. We know what he's gonna do. We just don't know exactly how you're gonna go about it, like the brother said.
In that scenario, you got the blueprint of the house. You just don't know what color the walls gonna be painted,
Exactly.
where the furniture gonna be furnished at, or whatever, whatnot. But you know, hey, this is the house and the dimensions of it. You know.
But as time goes on, that plan gets more clear and
Exactly.
clear. So that's why we're understanding more and more. The way it's really narrowing down to what this man's gonna do. It's really down to a few ways he can take it. But again, it's gonna be fully known at the time. You know?
Bro, that's why Esau's so mad, because we know
Okay.
through the scriptures, we know what he's doing. That pisses somebody off because it's their secret counsel. That's why scripture said the secret counsel of the wicked.
Yeah,
This was secret. So how did these so-called niggas find out what we were doing? You know, that makes them mad, bro. It's like, man, and that's what scares them too, because they know those the men. That's why the elder Lord say, great millstone, those the men. That's why they fear us, bro. Because those the men who the Lord dealing with. Because look, everything that we had in secret counsel, nobody, it ain't like one of these came down and told the elder Tahar, was like, look, this is what we're gonna do. You know, don't tell him I told you, but this is what we're gonna do. Then what? All of a sudden, Elder Tahar just start telling all us everything. Well, they leave. No, man. The spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai revealed to him what these people plan on doing, man, and that's why they fear us.
Yeah,
you know?
real quick, I would say that shows you how low level Esau is. You know, because we're in slavery. You know, he has all the time in the world to go on the ground and bullshit and figure out plans to do certain things. He has a numerous amount of resources. He has the whole entire earth. And here it is, we're on the couch and we know exactly what he's going to do.
A good example of what the brother was speaking on, you know, apostles always speak about this. They had that agent that came up to their camp and said, how did you guys figure this out? We spent millions and millions of dollars to try to hide this information, and you guys just figured this out. Well, you know, it's been, like the brother said, it's been through this word that the Heavenly Father has been dealing with the apostles, starting with the apostles, and that knowledge has been, you know, trickled on down to the men of the Lord. Okay, so that we can see and be like, oh, okay, you know, this is what it is. This is what's happening. This is what's going to be next. This is what's going to come. After that, this is what's going to happen. When we see these signs, when like Wisdom of Solomon, or not Wisdom of Solomon, so second Ezra chapter 9, verse 1, measure thou the time diligently in yourself, and when thou seest part of the signs come to pass, then shalt thou know that it is the very same time wherein the highest shall visit the earth which he made. You know, so we're seeing those signs. We're seeing the things that Esau, check off the list. You're coming, all right, the mark of the beast is, hey, that's gonna be one of the last checks, man.
And that's what makes us prophets. Bro, we've been telling everybody exactly what Esau's doing now. We've been telling you that he was gonna do this. We told you that, and even if it's not Esau doing it directly, we still told you about it, whether it's natural disasters or whatever the case may be. We told you about it, and now we've told Esau exactly what he was gonna do. We told him his own game plan, man. That's like what I said. Esau's scared. It's like you know you a coach, and then the other players on the other team is calling out your plays, telling you what you doing. Oh yeah, that's such and such formation. Like what the fuck is going on here? Like, bro, we know your plays, man.
That's why he gonna come at us so heavy, bro, because he knows.
So he get demonized.
Yeah, bro, he know we those men, bro, just by the information that we have through these scriptures, bro.
And the scripture says, Satan knows that he has but a short time. He knows because he sees us out here. He sees his plans being revealed, which the scriptures talk about him being his skirt being lifted up. So he knows that he's going to be exposed because of the scriptures. And when we talk about these Edomites that know these, we're talking about the elites. Yeah. Okay, because they're the ones that are pushing that agenda. They're the agenda to try to bring these things about. That's why Esau is moving like this, man. That's why prophecies are happening like this, because Esau's he's like, man, we got to do something. We gotta bring this agenda quick, and we gotta move.
Yeah.
You know, ultimately it's prophecies because it was Project Zypher, Project Pogo. Okay, there's gonna be all these things that are gonna start to come quick in succession. Okay.
And real quick, as brother says, the least the ones that know this. Cletus and Billy in the trailer park, they don't know what the hell's going on, man. You know, but what? Just like the average day Israelite don't know what's going on, the average day Edomite don't know what's going on. There's levels to this. You got the elite of Edom, and then you got the elite of Israel. You know.
Revelation 2:10. Fear none. This is Yahushua's words. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
Yeah, why you think he's gonna do that? Because what we're doing. we're not gonna take up arms. We're not gonna do drive-bys. We're not gonna hold up a liquor store. You know, we're not gonna go looting. All we're doing is casting down strongholds through the words of Yahweh Shai.
And Esau's gonna be so desperate that he's gonna come after all you jakes, man. Alright? All you jakes that have been clicking on the videos, thinking that you scoffing. Esau's made algorithms to detect people that are watching the Hebrew Israelites, man. And put you on a certain list so that he's gonna come get you in that day. And he's gonna put you in prison.
Oh, and that Google algorithm's gotten on point lately.
Yeah.
That shit's gotten on point lately.
Hey,
You seen that
hey,
shit?
Michael, when we just talking about that? That Google algorithm, how?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Bro, that shit is like got a mind of his own at this point.
That AI, bro.
Yeah, and shit, I forgot what we were talking about earlier, and then Alexa over here chimed in on some shit, man. So even your phones, man, you might be talking about, oh man, my back hurt, then you go on YouTube or whatever, and then an ad come up talking about back pain, arm, Shaq, icy hot, you know.
Bro, this shit is crazy, bro. Some of the shit that I've noticing on my phone, and it's like, yo, this shit is watching me, bro.
Hey, real quick, and that's going back to what we've been saying. It's really the Most High sending Esau at you, Jakes, man.
Yes,
sir. You know what I mean? All like if I said everybody that clicked on the videos and stuff. So you clicked on the video and you chose not to do nothing with it. That's the Most High. Like he gave Esau this technology to be able to track all you people down, man.
Get you.
It's that simple, bro. Go ahead, man.
Before I finish that, what you got?
Job.
Okay, I'm with that. Yeah, I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna go back to the other revelation. This is Revelation 12 and 12.
Oh yeah, I was just about to get it.
You about to get it?
Yeah.
I'll read it since I have it here. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down.
That's everybody. Everybody, okay? Everybody gonna get it, man. You should, even Esau's own people. Esau don't give a shit about his own people.
Exactly.
That's why I said the devil, and you know, there's other chapters talk about it, tells you it runs it down. The devil, Satan, the old serpent.
Yes.
Okay. This is the one that's gonna come down in these last days. Go ahead.
For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
And this man's gone to the extremes of saying that if you leave your house, you're gonna catch coronavirus. So what, he can set up his agenda, man. He can now. He's coming down hard, man. That's why he got everybody at home, you know, scared as hell from the invisible enemy.
Or if you leave your house, they're gonna find you and throw you in jail.
Yeah.
On one end, he's releasing prisoners because of COVID-19, and the other note, if
And he'll lock you up. Yeah.
we gotta get locked up last week for being out on the highways and the byways preaching. They want to lock us up, but they at the same time releasing prisoners. Which one is it? You know.
The Most High is exposing him. He's clumsy. Like you saying this contradicting him in every way. Like yo, you said this, but then next time you let loose prison.
Yeah.
Like you know.
And he's coming down with great wrath. And then you know the reason I mention that is because he's trying to speed up the process. That's why they're expediting all the construction. There's 5G towers everywhere now.
Everywhere, bro. Holy shit.
You know, that's what him coming down with great wrath, because ultimately it might not seem like it's something right now because people don't know what the hell, they don't even notice the towers. Right. But what he's doing is he's setting up he's putting the pieces where he needs to put them so that he can implement this mark of the beast, which is ultimately going to be him coming down with that great wrath. Because he's going to give you two options: take the chip or die, you know, because if he don't kill you on the spot, he's gonna toss your ass in a concentration camp, or just leave you for dead because you can't buy, you can't sell, you can't eat, you can't work. This is him coming down with his draconian laws. All right, he's speaking as a dragon right now, man. He said, no, you can't go to the beach, you can't be out here.
That lamb stage is over with.
Yeah, soft, you know, a real docile. No, he's saying you can't do this, you can't do that.
No more
6 feet.
Yeah. Put your mask on.
That's your mask on, get beat up.
This is him coming down with great wrath, and it's going to get increasingly worse, man. The draconian laws is going to get worse and worse. The major one's going to be the mark of the beast. That's going to be a law. You take it, it's going to be a law. Because with a law right now, according to Esau, which is according to the Most High, you break the law, there's a penalty for it. The law is going to be take the chip. If you don't take the chip, you're breaking his law, and there's a penalty for it. So ultimately, that's going to be the great draconian, you know, law, so to say, that he's going to take. But he's setting it up all right now. There's a reason all behind. Esau don't do shit for no reason. As far as the elites.
He ain't gonna spend no money for no reason.
Exactly.
Done.
You don't go and purchase something and like, oh, well, I'm gonna just put that in the. No, everything he's spending money on, and he's expecting results out of it, man.
Esau spends billions of dollars.
If not trillions.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, people would say, oh, that like the schooling system is underfunded or they not really getting their money out of that. No. Esau spending the right amount of money
And it's a lot not to cut you off, but it worked. That's why he said, "Fuck it, close the schools down to the end of the year." Nobody, fuck the graduate niggas, because they've already indoctrinated you. They don't care about schools no more, man.
that job is done, man. Just imagine if Esau was to go buy a bomb or a missile from one of these weapons developers or whatnot, and don't come through like how you said it was gonna do this, you said it was gonna do that, and they don't do that. Nah, man. Esau gets exactly what he paid for. He's not paying for some shit just to be, spending, oh, I bought this plane or this bomb, we're gonna just leave it there. No, they're gonna use it all, man. They still even got nuclear weapons from World War II. They still got, you're like, yo, we'll still use these bitches, man. Some old school shit, man. If not, we'll
They're
turn
still
it to a
gonna
new
use
one.
them. Yeah, they'll use them. Shit. They still blow shit up. Like that Tsar that Russia had, it was the size of a school bus.
Oh, yeah.
They still got that bitch.
Yeah,
They're gonna use it too.
Tsar bomb.
It might not be a nuclear weapon, but it's gonna blow some shit up. Yeah, I believe it's maybe it was nuclear. Yeah,
I think it's nuclear one.
Yeah,
Sure, intercontinental ballistic.
Is that, I think it's not a bomb that they dropped from a
Nah,
bomber.
it's not. It doesn't have like individual warheads. It's just a big ass.
Yeah, it's a
bomb.
big ass bomb.
Yeah.
I think they drop it from a bomber.
Yeah,
You don't shoot
It's
it.
like little.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was an atomic bomb, but it might be a nuclear.
No, it's still thermonuclear.
It's
That's
thermonuclear.
the biggest thermonuclear bomb I think that's ever detonated on Earth.
Tested.
old.
Yeah, the Tsar. Yeah.
Let me finish reading this here now. Back in the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 10. Yahweh's words. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be
It's
thou
gonna be a trial period, man, to test the faith, your faith. That's that. Well, really, we're going through it right now, but it's gonna get increasingly worse or increasingly harder. Like I like to use that analogy of the video game. The first mission, it ain't the hardest mission. The last mission is, and it progressively gets harder and harder. Difficulty goes up. So, when that hour of temptation comes upon the whole world, the main ones that are going to be tried are the elect. All right, that's that the furnace of adversity, so to say. The final furnace of adversity, so to say.
because those are the men that are going to be able to take the heat. So the Lord's going to put it on those men.
That's the real gold. You got bougie gold. That's not even real gold. Then you got fool's gold. You got all that's gonna melt. But we're gonna be purified through that fire. While everybody else is getting melted, we're gonna get purified.
And you see that starting out right now, man. You got people jumping over the COVID. People just losing this shit over this right now, man. But we
jumping off buildings.
Yeah, but we rejoicing. They're uncertain what's going on. Man, just to see how some of these people are dressed up in these little makeshift suits and show how scared they are. Like, yo, dog, it's not that serious. But hey, that's them. I mean, and that's just like, you just took some food out the microwave, that type of hot. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's a little hot. Blow it and cool it down, man. We talking about when it get really hot, man. When you gonna really bring up the heat to melt gold for real. When you got plagues, pestilence, famine, sword, war, the chariots, all these things going on at the same time. Are you still gonna be able to be sane, man? All right, because the scriptures say wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of our time, man. We know about all these things coming, so I mean, yeah, we were prepared for all these things, man. You have people out here right now like, oh my God, what's going on? I'm uncertain if I'm gonna ever work again. I'm uncertain if I'm gonna ever be able to go outside again without a mask on. They're folding at this stage. This is only the beginning. This is the beginning stages, man. You ain't really seen shit yet, man. You just living in the midst of a economic collapse and a so-called pandemic with a virus, man. All right, you ain't started starving out there yet, man. You ain't have people running around killing everybody, all kind of chaos, and you scared to be in your house because you don't know if your neighbor's gonna come through and start shooting you and killing you yet, man. You ain't got to worry about all those things yet right now, man. See what I'm saying? But
they don't even believe that that's something that could potentially happen. They think that this is it, and it's gonna go back to normal.
Better.
But no, it's gonna get, like your brother's saying, it's gonna get worse and worse and worse to the point where there's gonna be violence in the street. There's gonna be crime everywhere, and ain't nobody gonna be putting up niggas in jail. It's just gonna be all out chaos out here in the world. And Esau, he's gonna come after the ones doing good. He's gonna come after the brothers. He's gonna come after people like us that are harmless. And it says here though, in the last part of the verse, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So if you can hold out if you're tough enough and you're faithful enough to get through all these things that the Lord is putting upon us, then the Lord's going to give you immortality. The Lord's going to give you the kingdom of heaven. But all you have to, but it's not all. What you have to do is you have to get through the fire that the Lord's about to bring upon this earth. It's gonna suck. Yeah, it's gonna suck. It sucks now. You got brothers out here that are jobless. Yeah, everybody's being being hit with this with the shit that Esau is doing right now. A lot of brothers are being affected by it. However, brothers are faithful unto the Most High, so those brothers, one way or another, they're fine. You know, some way, somehow, the Lord got them. Whether they lose their job, you know, brothers got their backs, or maybe their wife's still working, whatever. They're still good. All right, they're still eating. There's still some way, somehow, there's still food in their refrigerator. All right, but there's people out here that are really suffering, and they're not gonna stand the test of time. They're not gonna stand the test that the trials that the Lord has, and they're gonna melt, and they're not gonna be hardened, because you know the endurers, you know, the hardened. All right, they're gonna fail that test. But the men of the Lord, whoever they are, wherever they are on this earth, they're going to pass the test that the Lord has in store for them. And the test is starting right now. We in phase 1 of Esau's bullshit. You know, and if you can't pass this, wait till phase 2. Wait till phase 3, or how many phases the Lord has in store for this place. But the last one, the main one, is one that Esau says you have to get this microchip. If you don't get this microchip, whether it be concentration camp, whether it be death on the spot, or whether it be you cut off from society. Either way, it's you know, it doesn't bode well for whoever that person is. And those people are going to be first and foremost the elect, and there's going to be a lot of other people as well too. But the elect is the one that matters.
Hey, real quick, you just said this is Matthew 24:13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Yeah, you gotta endure to the end. He that endures to the end of what? The end of all the hell that's happening. You know, because yeah, when brother may have started, you know, 7 years ago preaching the word, you know, it was hard back then. You know, look at it now. We have to endure, you know, 5, 6, 7 years. You got people out here who endured 30 plus years. All right, but they still have to endure all the way up until the very end. Okay.
I might say this, you know, because you know, brothers were mentioning about the purging, you know, and the furnace of adversity and all that going with this. Those that are gonna perish the quickest and soonest is gonna be these 2/3 and these other people, because they're now gonna start going through this purging process. The men of the Lord, we've been going through this purge process. We're still going to be going through it until the end, like the priest of the brother ended. He that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. So we still got to endure to the end. But guess what? We're at the final stages of our purification. The rest of you, the rest of y'all who were just lollygagging and bullshitting and being scoffers and doing whatever it is that you wanted to do outside of doing the will of the Heavenly Father, now you're going to be forced to, at the climax of this trouble, forced to start your purification, and it's going to be a little too late for you, because you've been removing that dross, the impurities out of your system, okay? And you have, because through all these years that brothers have been in this truth, you know, we've been building a certain skill set, which is that wisdom, okay? So when these last days come, we know how to maneuver. We know, okay, well, I know at this step of the process to remove the impurities, I got to do this, because this way I don't get burned if gold splatters up or something. You know, you got techniques that you know how to maneuver, man.
You gotta. There's before you throw anything into an oven, it's called prepping. You gotta prep it. The same thing with the gold. You gotta prep it before you just throw chunks of gold into the furnace, man. You gotta prep it. Just like food, you prep the food before you put it in the oven.
And the Most High has been using Esau to stuff an apple in the mouth of you 2/3, man.
Like a pig.
Yeah, like a pig. He's getting ready to roast you, man.
Fattening you up, man.
Yeah, fattening you up. Yep.
Into the slaughter.
Hey, the scripture says just one has waxed fat. You know, that was talking about back then, but hey, it's the same thing now, because 2/3 of y'all, it's just waxing fat and fat, you know? You think that you living your best life, when really this is the worst condition you've ever been in. That's how bugged out that you are. You think you living your best life, but this is the worst condition Jake has ever been in all the history of the entire earth, man. The worst condition ever, man.
It's gonna be even worse.
Yep.
I got a quick research for you. Proverbs 25:4. It says, "Take away the dross from the silver, and there shall come forth a vessel for the final.
God, that's right. You know, because what? Well, again, when I made mention of us being in the final, the men of the Lord, the elect is in the final stages of purification. We're just waiting for that little bit to be removed. And guess what's going to be left after that fire? It's going to be the pure gold of Ophir. Okay, that pure,
the precious,
the pure gold. Okay, but the rest of it is you're gonna have to be cleansed. You still got to get purified. So what's going to come for you is the missiles. Okay, that's going to be the final purifying of you 2/3. Go ahead.
Just to back you up on that, this is Micah 2:10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted and shall destroy you even with the sword of destruction." It's like the brother's going through. We already started making this this purification process. You know, for a pure example is, we gave up the world, so to say. We stopped hanging out with friends and things like that. But what's going on right now is people being tried. They're not used to being at home alone, just sitting at home on the internet, can't do nothing, can't go nowhere. That's a heaven for us, man. Oh, we can't go nowhere. We can just sit at home and just be on the internet all day. We're gonna just keep leveling up. But these people, they going crazy with that, man. All right, these people also the bread and the circuses, all the entertainment, everything like that. They just immediately turned all that off, man. But what we had already left out of all of that in the world, man. Yeah, I mean, it's you can go do all that, but all things are lawful but not expedient, man. What manner of conversation should you be in knowing that all these elements about to be dissolved, man? So we can live without watching the sport games and so on and so forth that's going on because we've already departed from this here place, man. But if you want to stay in it says, Micah 2:10, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with the sword of destruction." Think about how many, Israelites right now are being destroyed just because they can't go hang out with their friends. They can't go to the club, be twerking. You know what I'm saying? They can't go watch the basketball game, the football game, because they can't do none of these things, man. They bugging the fuck out, man. And this is just the beginning, man. Bro, you lost your mind because you can't go to the strip club, or you can't go twerking, or you can't watch the football game. You at home about to go crazy and kill up everybody because you can't go, shoot dice on the side of the block or whatever, whatnot, man. This is just the beginning, man. What happens when you get to start living as a pilgrim, or you have everybody hating you for this word's sake, man? Everybody else is so used to being comfortable and everything, but now the Most High is turning it off, man. And guess who's faring well with all this, man? Yeah, we rejoicing, man. You know what I'm saying? We able to go without all these different things or whatever, whatnot, but it's funny to us to see these people bugging out over just, damn, I can't watch football no more. What am I going to do? What am I going to do, man? And then these women, they can't go to the club. I got to get out. I got to go do this, can't do that, and so on and so forth, man. That's why we were supposed to depart out of this here place, because at a point in time, it's like you have a head start to wean yourself off of a drug, man. I think it's meth or one of those drugs or something like that, man. If they go to jail, man, they have bad withdrawals, man. So all of a sudden, they be throwing up and getting sick and whatever, whatnot, man. But we had a good lead time to get ourselves off of these things. But now the switch was turned off, and you see who was prepared for it and who wasn't prepared for it, man. All these people have to prepare to have faith in the Lord and everything like that when real calamities come and whatever, whatnot, man. As soon as we see the COVID or whatever, whatnot going on, and all these things happening and things shutting down, we're like, well, we got faith, man. We've been living by faith the whole time, so it is what it is. We don't have to sit here and practice and get ready on going through certain trials and tribulations where the Lord actually came through and showed us He's with us, man. We've already been through all that, so we already know that we're gonna be all right, man. As long as we continue our faith.
And that happened right after the Passover. So these are the spiritual signs that the Lord is showing us that He's starting to bring judgment upon the earth. He's telling His sons, His men on the earth, don't worry, I got you. Watch what I'm about to do. Watch, see what I do. As soon as the Passover is over, now it was a worldwide pandemic.
A lot of camps didn't even get to do their Passover because they wanted to do it in April.
They wanted to do it in April.
They didn't get to do it.
Yeah, they had their own place rented out, and that was closed down.
Sold all the tickets.
Brothers we've been doing it humbly for years and years and years in houses, and kept it a solemn assembly, and it meant a lot to us, and it means a lot to Yahweh Shem Yahshua. So the Lord is seeing that. He's been seeing it. It's not like He's just seeing it. The Lord's been seeing our works, and now the Lord is saying, you know what? Watch what I do for you. All right, and the Lord is shutting down America.
And that's ultimately why these people are like the brother David was saying. These people are going stir crazy. Is because they don't understand and trust of the Heavenly Father, but the men of the Lord do. And I got a quick precept to go with what both you brothers are saying. Proverbs 28:5. Verse 5, 28:5, it says, "Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things." And we understand why these things are happening. So even if a man of the Lord or a member of the elect has to, they're going through a time where they might lose their job, you know, they don't have no food for a while. They understand it, and they praise the Heavenly Father for that. But these people, they going crazy. They lose their jobs and they commit suicide, going home, beating their wives, go rob stores because they don't understand what's happening. But the men of the Lord do. Another precept is Daniel chapter 12, man.
No, it's okay.
Come on, Daniel chapter 12, verse 10. Okay, the wicked don't understand. Okay, the wicked of who? The wicked of our people, maybe. Okay, they don't understand why these things are happening. They don't understand the judgments that are going to come, man. You know, and they're going to bug out. And they're going to continue to bug out because they don't understand the process of what the Heavenly Father is doing. Go ahead.
I got a quick one, you know, backing up what you were going into. You done with that?
Yeah, that was it.
All right, this is 2nd Esdras 9, and I'm going to read from verse 9. It says, hang on. Yeah, I'll just read from, let's just go. It says, 2nd Esdras 9, I'll start at verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. So this is where we are at right now, man. All right, this is what we were investing in this here point in time. All right, it says, shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in the land within my borders, and for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Now the flip side, all right, to this abrupt cutoff, the people that wasn't so-called practicing for this day, it says, then shall they be in a pitiful case which have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment. So going into that, you know, they had the chance and the opportunity to listen to the men of the Lord when the Lord had us out here preaching on the highways and the byways and on the videos on YouTube and so on and so forth. But they want to keep living their best life, man. They want to keep being out here in the streets and doing whatever they wanted to do. They was putting off the day of the Lord, man. They kept putting it off, right? But now it's time for game time. You should have been practicing, all right? It says, verse 10, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. You know, again, they had this truth was so-called given unto them at some point in time, but they despised it all. It says, verse 11, for they that have loathed my law while they yet had liberty, and when yet the place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. So again, they didn't want to listen, and they didn't want to, you know, so on and so forth. They didn't want to take heed to this. They want to keep on twerking and being out in the club and watching the sport games and so on and so forth, instead of taking, you know, weaning yourself off of these things, man. Removing out of Babylon, you know, departing from Babylon spiritually, you know, not physically, but spiritually and mentally, departing up out of Babylon, getting up off of these systems. Stop depending so much on your job. This is my everything and everything else like that, man. You have to be able to be willing to give up everything. Matthew 19:27 talking about we've given up everything, man. What are we going to get in return for all these things? So you had to give up that old, you had to put off that old man, you know, you had to start afresh, more or less to say, you know, and it's starting afresh in the spiritual realm more than the fleshly realm out here. All right, but
real quick, it also said about the benefits, while they yet receive benefits, some of those benefits are wisdom, knowledge, understanding, the names of the Lord, because the names of the Lord are a strong tower in the day of trouble. Okay, all these things are going to be what helps us in these last days, and those are benefits. Okay, but these people didn't get them, while they yet had a liberty to get them. They didn't get them. They didn't want them. They didn't want to accept those gifts of the Heavenly Father. But the men of the Lord were wise enough to understand it, and they seek them.
They despised it. They despised it.
Let me just go back and read verse 11 and 12 again. It says, and they that have loathed my law while they yet had liberty, and while the place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain. All right, going into that, man, like I said, you have a lot of people right now that's bugging out to the point of death because they don't know when the next time they're going back to work, or they don't know when the next time I can sit here and watch sports. I can't go out to the club no more. I can't twerk no more. I can't do this. I can't do that. Just some simple ass shit, man.
They bored as hell.
Yeah, they just bored out of their mind. They just have to be stuck at home and not do anything, man. You know what I'm saying? And so, that uncertainty, man, that, you know, the lack of faith, they don't know, you know, they believe in the government and they all lost. They don't know what's really going on. And now, you know, the Lord had been giving them the truth the whole time about what was coming, but they didn't want to build up into that.
God, you made the mention about the saints shall know about death by pain. Mm-hmm. The men of the Lord have been going through that pain already through our purging process. Brothers letting stuff go, you know, like Brother Dawud was just mentioning about putting off that old man, you know, forsaking the things of this world. We've been letting those things go, and it's been painful, man. Brothers had gone through certain things that, hey, it was tough to go through those things, but we forsook them and trusted in the Heavenly Father. But now the Lord is starting to do that to everybody else.
Forcibly taking.
Physically, yeah.
He's physically taking these things for you, and you people can't take it. So ultimately you're already suffering, and it's gonna continue to get worse and worse till the missiles hit, and then you're really gonna know what pain really is.
Well, that's what they're gonna know. The 2/3, they're gonna know exactly what we know after death by pain. So they gotta die a painful death. Then they're gonna know what we know. That's why I said, then shall they know after death by pain. So they're gonna be in their right mind, but after death by pain. You
In
know?
the kingdom. They gotta come back, but they gotta learn the hard way on this side, man.
They gotta go through death.
Yeah.
By pain. You
Just
know?
like
it ain't gonna be he died in his sleep peacefully. No.
Yeah. I mean,
He's
but
gonna
that's,
be a whole suffering, man.
that's just like a parent to a child.
Yeah.
It's like a parent to a child would say, oh, you had to find out the hard way. I told you not to play with that fire. I told you not to touch it. Get away from the stove. Now the little child go over there, put their hand in the stove. They out here crying and well, you didn't want. You had to learn the hard way. I told you 1,000 times not to touch that fire, but what'd you do anyway? You had to find out after, the painful experience. That's ultimately how 2/3 are gonna have to experience this. All right.
Quick one here. Daniel 12:2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. They're gonna die out here, But when they wake up in the kingdom, they're gonna realize that, hey, they had a chance of liberty. They had a chance of repentance, and they chose the wrong path. All right, the Lord was never dealing with them. No matter what they were thinking on this side, the Lord was never dealing with them. And now, here it is. Hell comes upon the earth, and you're catching the full brunt of it. Okay, you're catching full brunt because it could come upon us as well too. But guess what? Like the brother Lion was saying earlier, we've already been we've been prepping. We've been prepping. We've been tried, in this flesh. Okay, and in past lives as well too. Okay, we've been brothers went through all types of shit. All right, died. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much just building muscle, because going into our temptation is going to try the whole entire world. So that chip is made mandatory is going to affect everybody. So just like it's going to affect us, it's going to affect everybody in the world. So the difference is we've been spiritually lifting weights so that when that time comes, that trial period comes, we're going to be able to handle that weight. And that's why going to this first stage now, people obviously ain't been in the gym. They haven't been studying, they haven't been reading, they haven't been giving their diligence. And that's why it's being shown who the Lord's really dealing with.
You got people trying to come in, and buy Bibles. Everybody's buying up Bibles, because they're scared of. They see that something biblical's going on. They just don't know what the hell is
But
going
don't
on.
got the oil
Yeah.
to even
Decipher nothing.
to know what's going on.
You can't break this down.
Into the world.
I had somebody the other day text me talking about, do you have my Bible? Talking about, can you give me back my Bible? I was like, what? I was like,
Nah, he got it.
I don't have your Bible.
I ain't got it.
I was like, what the fuck?
Go buy another one.
I was
Like, what are you gonna do with it anyways?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with your Bible?
Put it on the dash.
Look at it? You gonna look at it? Yeah. Look at it.
Yeah, I got it pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's Sirach 2:13. All right, it says, I'll start at 12. It says, woe be to the fearful hearts and the faint hands and the sinner that goeth 2 ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. All right, and you people, man, you faint-hearted, because right now you walking around with masks on your face,
bags.
worried about worried about when your next meal gonna come, and worried about losing jobs. Man, you people tweaking out, man. It's beautiful, but you faint-hearted, man. And you don't believe. Like the brother said, man, we when we came into this truth, we put all our trust in the Lord. We started letting shit go. Whatever. We
Been through it all.
we forsook everything and followed the Lord. That took a leap of faith, man. That took belief in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Like, we read those scriptures and we're like, man, this is gonna happen. And what we put all our faith in the Lord, man. So here it is now in these last days. All right, we in that phase 1 of Esau really going to what he's doing. It's about to be phase 2 soon, and you gonna go into phase 2 with that same fear. Mm-hmm. And as we progress in the next phase, that fear is gonna keep getting bigger and bigger. It's gonna keep growing and growing and growing. And with our faith, because we see the things that the scripture spoke about that we've heard from our other apostles going down. And our faith, as your fear gets stronger, our faith is just gonna increase as the next phase goes on and the next phase goes on. Because why? it's going to be scary times, but it's going to increase our faith because we're like, man, the Lord's actually getting ready to come. Like, it's so close to him returning. All right, so we're going to go into Jacob's trouble with our hearts full of faith. And you go into Jacob's trouble with a heart full of fear, man.
Fear.
All right?
Yeah, when we understand the scriptures, this is our comforter. This comforts us because we understand that the Lord is not going to put us through a situation that we're not going to be able to handle. We believe that the Lord is dealing with us, whether it is true or not. We believe that. So if you believe that, then you believe that these scriptures correlate to you. And so the scriptures say that, you know, fear not. Okay, be not troubled. It's all over this. It's all over the Bible. All right. That's the mindset that we're going into these days that we're in right now. Because, you know, really, what it comes down to, Jacob's trouble has now begun. Okay, it's just in the preliminary stages. You know, it hasn't heated up yet, but it's not. America's not going back to what it was a month and a half ago. It's not going back there ever again. It's going to get worse and worse and worse, and we want that to happen because if it doesn't happen, we're going to be stuck here. It has to get worse. If it doesn't get worse, then with no kingdom of heaven, no immortality. Okay, you're stuck here in this flesh, getting older and older and older. All right, you know, this living a bullshit life.
GMO.
This place sucks. Okay, whatever. Anything else is better than this. Okay, so we understand that we've been through the worst. We've been through slavery. We've been through that shit. Okay, all of us. Okay, and we've died. Okay, we've died horrible deaths in the past.
The worst is yet to come.
And it's all gonna be
the real worst hasn't even arrived yet. The worst times of mankind, human history. It has begun, you know, like brother said, it started.
Well, I'm still on the page right here, Daniel 12:1. I verse 12.
It's like a snowball effect, you know. Just downhill from there. By the end of the hill, there's a big ass snowball. But at the top of the hill, just a little, you know, hand-sized snowball.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you get to the end of the hill, it's a big ass, you know, ball. And that's how the time of Jacob's trouble is unraveling, you know.
I read it right here because I'm still on the page. I read 12:2. I read 12:1. Daniel. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, the Israelites. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. All right, so the time that's happening is something that's never happened on this earth before. It's going to be so bad. All right, we always read these death scriptures and everything. It's going to be bad. I don't know how to tell you in English. It's gonna be bad, and you're not doing the right thing. You people aren't doing the right thing. You're not in the right mindset. You're gonna die.
They're gonna find out after death by pain.
It's the only way. The scripture told you. The brother read it earlier. You're gonna die. You know, it's horrible, painful death. It may be a slow death when you die of starvation. These things are written in the Bible. The same Bible you got on your coffee table that you say you read. You've read it 3 times front to back. But where's your fear?
Remember the Genesis, Exodus.
Yeah,
That old tree.
I knew the order of the books,
yeah.
but don't know nothing about the scriptures.
Professing himself to be wise.
But you're a fool. You know, you people are foolish. You don't know what's in this book. It's full of lamentations, mournings, and woes. And we're trying to tell you, we're giving you a fair warning through the Spirit of God that you say. All right, his true name is Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, we're telling you what's going to happen. And you don't care. That's the crazy thing. You don't care. You know, so what else are we going to do? We're going to continue to do this until we can't do this no more. It says, I'll finish reading it. It says, then there shall be a time, where was that? And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So the elect of Israel shall be delivered. The Lord is going to deliver the elect. It's not everybody on the earth, all people. You know, what the hell are y'all talking about, man? Like everybody, whosoever. No, it's not talking like that, man. It's not the whole planet Earth. Okay, no, man. It's a small set of people that's going to be delivered from the destruction that's coming on. Why is there fear then? If everybody's going to be delivered, it's going to be a happy ending, right? God
should be celebrating
right now. Everybody, the whole planet should be celebrating. Stupid asses, man. No, man. It's not talk. It's not what it means. It's everybody on earth is going to die except for certain people. And then other people are going to put in slavery. It's not good. Okay, like we can't tell you this is a bad thing. Okay, go ahead, brothers.
I got
Yeah, we'll get some closing scriptures.
all right. I'll read through this pretty quick. It's 10 verses. Psalm 64 says, "Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy." All right. It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." Because we know the secret counsel of the wicked. We see what they plan. We might not know every strategic step on how they're going to do what they're going to do, but we know. All right. So it's hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword, draconian laws, you know, and bend their bows to shoot the arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? But we see you, man. You've been exposed. Through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shemi Shai, we see everything that you're trying to do.
And we're not ignorant of Satan's device.
Exactly. We see your 5G towers. Brothers are aware of it. Ain't like brothers like, man, what's going on? No, brothers see your 5G towers, man. Brothers see that you're getting rid of cash. You know, brothers see a video just came out today how the EU is trying to put out a tracing app for the whole COVID-19 thing.
Yeah,
we
see
see that.
Arizona too.
Yeah, man. Come, we see all these things, man. It says they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. You got something you want to say? All right.
Oh, well, real quick on that part, that diligent search, that's what these think tanks that they got, man. You have like the Tavistock Institute, the Council of 300, the CFR, all these.
That's the secret council. You know, the scripture says, "Hide me from the secret council," man. That's the secret council. All those think tanks, all those little meetings they be having. It ain't for everyday law-abiding, voting Edomite.
And also, like the UN, if you ever notice at the UN, they don't have none of the Israelites are represented at the UN. Put it that way.
And that's not good, but that's not even secret council.
Right. That's public council.
We're talking about what you don't see. You know, that's where the decisions be made. Not on TV. You know? The TVs. When you see on TV, whatever they tell you on TV has already been decided before it hits. You know,
it's a trickling effect. You know, even though it's on TV, it comes from up top. It's a trickle down effect. You know what I mean? Because it says both of the inward thought of every one of them, their and heart is deep, man. You know, so all these things they're putting out, man. We see it. The deep things, the secret things that Esau, as Chris say. How are the things that Esau sought out, man? How are his secret
hidden things searched out?
Hidden things searched out.
It's like that movie They Live. We have those glasses. We have the spiritual eyes to see. You know, while everybody else is walking around just consuming and doing everything the advertisement tells them to do, we see right through it, man. We see exactly what. All right, well, this says. Who knows? It was a Coca-Cola billboard. It really says obey. You know. We see all that, man. And then like to add on to what the brother was saying, you know, we see all the 5G tower and all that. Well, the main thing we see is the programming of the people's minds. Because this is what they're doing right now is they're programming people for what they're about to push out.
Hey, the scriptures say that God of this earth has blinded them. And that's exactly what the brother's going into, man. They're blinded, they're being programmed, they're blinded by all these things so they can't see this truth, man. So they can't come to the truth from within.
A good example of that was Paul. He got blinded and he had those scales on his eyes. And then when he received the knowledge, the scales fell off, you know, and he could see. You know, that was the glasses like the brothers represented, that's that eye salve, that ointment for the eyes. So these people have the Lord is blinded, he put them scales over their eyes. And his truth is that eye salve, you know, that understanding.
And they're refusing it. You know, they just stuck in fear. Oh no.
Because remember, that's doing it with somebody, what was his name? Joseph, I think. Well, I could be wrong. But nonetheless, it was somebody came to Paul or Saul, and he touched him, and that's when the scales that's when the scales fell off his eyes. So what he was pretty much, you know, that's like today we come to you, and then if you accept it, then those scales will fall off your eyes. If not, then you're just gonna continue to be blind. You know.
Donald Trump come up speaking in code. Oh, you blacks with the coronavirus, I don't like that. I'm gonna do something about that. We understand that whole code speaking like, yeah, you plan on coming in the hoods and wiping Jake out with your medical martial law and so on and so forth, man. You know, we read in between all the lines, man. All right. It says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, ultimately, you know, the nuclear missiles. Okay. But in all other ways, their plans that they plan on getting ready to roll out, it's all gonna fail, man. All right, and one of the biggest things shooting at them with that arrow is what? This truth, man. You know, exposing them. All right, it says, suddenly shall they be wounded, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And that so-called white man has lost his power through his deception. All right, his deception. Once, that's why the brother said he coming out just saying, you know, Trump. Yo, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. Well, he just said we're gonna inject you with disinfected. Like, you know, he said he was joking, but still, like, why you in a position of the president? Why would you even say some stupid shit like that? You know, like, but pretty much, well, he said we're gonna just vaccinate you people, man, because that's what it is. Disinfected, Lysol. It's like we just gonna inject Lysol into you, type shit, man. You know, like that's all he saw it just coming straight out, man. Look, and people will laugh at that. He say it was just a joke, but he like, look, we finna put chemicals in y'all. We finna poison you people, man.
You wanna go back to work? Come get this shit.
You know,
get this vaccine, poison.
I'm gonna finish out on this. It says, and all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. Verse 10, last one. It says, the righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. And that's what's happening right now, bro. Right now, all the upright in heart shall glory, bro.
Rejoicing.
Upright in heart, what? Got this knowledge, upright with the Most High, man. Praying to him, in his truth, in his ministry, doing whatever it is your lot. It is, man. Whatever lot has been set upon you, you doing it, man. That's the upright in heart, man. Those that believe, first and foremost, having faith, believing in Yahweh Shai. Those are upright in heart, man. And we're glorying. Because why? We see the secret counsel of the wicked. David asked the Lord to preserve my life from the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. That was a prayer. He said, hide me from those things, man. And that's why the upright in heart shall glory, because we see the things that's happening. We know it's time to get up out of here.
And ultimately, the upright heart is the Israel of Israel. You know, just like go to the word Jacob, where it said he was a plain man. Though that word is upright. You know, it's Yashar. Okay, and that's who's upright in heart today is the ones the Israel of the Most High. You know. Because with Jacob, he was after the Lord. You know, he was a man after the Lord's heart. You know, he followed the ways of the Lord. You know, so that's the same thing that the elect are today. You know, upright.
Or the house of David. Your dad was, you know,
he was a man after the Most High's heart. Yeah? So you know, with that, you know, Lord's will. Anybody got anything else? So with that, you know, Lord's will, this was edifying. We want to give all praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakakadash.
The bonus to the elder apostles, great millstone, and salutation and much love. Yakim out there pushing out his word in true sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.
I had to hit the button and then stop.